You can ring
That's better. Yeah, you can't hold it.
Mabel. Who sang that then?
I don't fucking know.
Ring my bell.
Was there someone important?
We didn't take the bell away.
It was my bell.
Hello. And
Oh yeah, sorry listeners, I forgot about you for a moment.
hello and welcome to the Funfiltered podcast, or welcome back to the Funfiltered podcast. My name is Sam. I am joined by Jordan.
Hello.
And Eddie.
Hello.
Sean's birthday today.
Thank you, Sam.
That's right. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
That's right.
Genuine thank you that time.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, Eddie. Wow, doesn't that just sum up
And
the relationships between the three of us?
Anita Ward.
Anita Ward.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
So yeah, George's birthday, yeah?
Yeah. Is there anything to talk about?
I was going to say,
have you had a good day so far?
yeah, I had pancakes for breakfast, you know?
Okay.
No, you laugh. I was genuinely like, yay, pancakes.
I like pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like pancakes.
Homemade
but-
pancakes.
Okay.
With fruit and bacon. It's
Yeah,
great.
and what?
Fruit.
Fruit.
What, in
What
the
did you think
wait,
I
hang on.
said?
Wait, did,
No, I didn't. I just had fruit.
Oh, right.
did you
okay.
have fruit in the pancake?
No, on the pancakes.
Oh.
What fruit?
Raspberries.
Okay.
Blackcurrants.
Yeah.
Or was it blueberries? No, it was blueberries.
Yeah.
Can't mix those two up.
No.
It's important you don't mix those two
No.
up.
Definitely not. Don't
Yeah.
mix up black and blue. Not in this climate.
No. Or you'll end up black and blue.
All berries matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, berries.
Yeah, it's been alright.
Why isn't it called a red berry?
They are, aren't they?
No, why isn't it
No,
called
the group is called Red Berries.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why is it called a strawberry?
It's not a berry, right?
Isn't it? Oh no, it's a seed. No, it's not a seed.
Yeah.
No, it is a berry, isn't it?
No, it's one of those tomato fallacy things.
Oh, right. Okay.
Where,
no, it's not tomato. It can't be a
because
tomato
people don't
fallacy.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I thought people knew that it wasn't a berry.
Maybe, but I don't think that's to the level of the tomato fallacy.
Did you know it was not a berry, Eddie?
I don't fucking know.
What is it then?
I don't know.
A nut?
I don't know what it is.
I know its seeds are on the outside. It's the only
Yeah,
fruit
I think
whose
that's
seeds are
why
on the
it's not
outside.
Have I got to look
Okay.
up what a strawberry is?
Please.
Fuck's sake. Oh,
Gonna get our money's worth out of you, Eddie, this podcast. Because we don't have any Doctor Who to talk about anymore. So
No.
we have to genuinely fill the time.
Yep.
so I've legitimately got to talk now as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
So blueberries, blackcurrant.
No blackcurrant.
Oh, no blackcurrant.
No, it was blueberries.
Oh, it was blue.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
I mistook the blackcurrants.
Okay.
I mistook the blueberries for blackcurrants.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
Right.
Anything else?
Bacon?
Bacon.
Well, you could choose. It wasn't like you have to
Yeah.
have raspberries and bacon.
Oh, okay. Bacon in the pancakes?
No, on the pancakes. There was nothing in the they were
yeah,
homemade
yeah.
pancakes. There was
On the
nothing in the pancakes.
On the pancakes.
On the pancakes,
Like
yes.
rolled up and you eat it.
Well, I didn't roll it up. But I suppose that was an option.
How do you eat it then?
Well, you just as a pancake.
Did you eat it like American?
What do you mean?
You put the pancake on the plate.
Yeah.
And you put the stuff on the pancake.
Yeah.
And then you eat the pancake.
Yeah, how did you eat it?
Well, knife and fork. You just cut it
Knife
up.
and fork, you cut it up.
Yeah, eat the pancake.
How thick was the pancake?
Well, like, I can't indicate with my hands because the listeners won't know, but it's probably about,
Half an inch.
well, like a finger's width
A finger's width.
or finger's depth.
Okay. So it wasn't like a crepe.
No, it wasn't crap. No.
No. it was a pancake.
It was a pancake.
It was more along the line of a Greg's pancake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Fluffy.
Yeah, fluffy pancakes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. I want more pancakes now. Pancakes.
I mean, I've never heard of bacon on a pancake. How is that?
It's an American thing.
Yeah, it's an American thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a thing that happens.
Is it?
They mix meat and sweet together.
Have you never been to Frankie and Benny's?
Yeah.
They do that.
I've never had it.
Okay.
Where are Frankie and Benny's from?
Well, they're Italian American, aren't they?
Well,
Italian-American.
they're not, are they?
No, but that's the
That's the
gimmick.
That's the theme.
That's the story as well. Why is that necessary?
I don't know.
Like, it's fine. It looks kind of like an Italian American diner kind of thing. It's got a mafia vibe.
They needed their own backstory.
Yeah, like, do you need to feel like you're eating authentic Italian American
I think that's
food?
the idea. That if we have a genuine lore behind our restaurant, then it'll sort of make it feel more authentic to the customers.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it? I think Chiquitos used to do the same thing.
Did they?
I think because they're not Mexican.
No.
But
they do Tex-Mex food.
Yeah, but that was their whole shtick.
I miss
pretension of it.
Chiquitos. There's like 2 in the whole country. I really miss them.
It's gone.
Well, first of all, what's a strawberry?
It's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid.
It's like a hybrid.
It's a hybrid species.
Of what?
It's. I mean, I can't fucking pronounce that.
Okay, it's
Gregaria and anasa.
It's gregarian.
It's gregarian.
It's a gregarian strawberry.
Basically, I don't fucking know, and it's weird, but I like the taste of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I like strawberries. Yeah, it's just the pretension of it, like trying to make you feel cultured because you chose to go to Frankie and Benny's. Like, most people who go there know it's a chain restaurant thing. It's fine.
I never felt cultured going to Frankie and Benny's.
No, but I guess that's the idea, right? You don't feel like you're just having fast food or...
Well, you're not.
No, you're not. But do you know what I mean? Like, you're not just part of a corporate... You feel like you're sitting you're having an authentic experience.
Yeah.
As opposed to a manufactured one.
Okay.
Like, McDonald's has no pretension. It's just crap food.
Well, how could you pretentious at McDonald's?
Well, I don't know. I mean, McDonald's is Scottish. You could say, this beef, it came from the clan of blah, 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 blah. But they just got a clown.
Well,
they know their audience. They know what's up.
Well, it's like I had customers at work, and there's a couple at the bar, and she orders. We do a kid spaghetti, and she orders. She's like, is there like any way to get like a bit more of a portion? And the husband just turns around and goes, "It's fucking microwaved. What do you think you're getting?" And she was like, come on, you're in a spoons. Like,
is there any pretension with spoons? I know that behind the scenes, like, he does that whole, now you work for Spoons, you're part of the family bullshit.
No, there's not. There's no story with Spoons.
Yeah, there's no story there.
It's just...
I think the individual restaurants do, right?
Yeah,
because we have a friend who works
converted.
What's the name of the pub? The Ernest Willow's.
Yeah.
And they've got like placards on the wall, sort of explaining the history of Ernest Willow and who he is.
Yeah. So that's their shtick. It's named. Usually they're named after a person.
Yeah. And obviously they usually convert what was something else before, churches and theatres and all that sort of thing. So there's a bit of tie-in with that. You might have stuff
here's
on the walls.
The building or the person that we've appropriated into the machine.
I can't remember what my place was used for initially, but you said that you're like our theatres, cinemas and all that, and in my head mine was a Harry Ramsden's.
Yours is clearly a bar restaurant.
Yeah, it's just a big glass building, isn't it?
Yeah.
The guiding kind of zeitgeist of Spoons is Brexit. If there's any.
Well, now it is. Obviously wasn't always the case.
Like, because obviously they were the Spoons news magazines, in which Tim Martin writes editorials in favour of conservative things.
Was that magazine just made for him so he could write shit?
Yeah,
probably.
Definitely. Yeah. Because of how much changes. And they've got stuff like, Debbie in Wiltshire won Manager of the Year or something. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, well, because when the Chancellor announced like all the different like deals and stuff like that, we had the Sunak special drinks, which was just cheaper ales.
Yeah.
And then the food thing was nicknamed the Rishi Dishy.
Right. Okay.
The Rishi Dishy deal or whatever it was called.
That sounds slightly exotic for Tim Martin.
He didn't come up with it. Come on, he just sat there.
He's not an exotic man, is he?
And that's all he did.
Well, he doesn't like those foreign things, does he?
He doesn't even like foreign beers.
Actually, right. Yeah, can you re-explain to me the Jägermeister thing?
Right. So Jägermeister is not officially English.
German swill.
And so a decision was made high up in the chain, whether it was Tim Martin or not, I don't know. That it was going to be one of the products that we stopped, but because we knew people liked Jägermeister, we would have our own, which is Striker, which is cheaper,
right?
Shit,
yeah,
and just it's like it's such a bad knockoff.
He found out that Meister was master in German and got nervous. We're not in my pub.
Yeah. But it's a bit shit.
Yeah,
but he sells. There's other brands of drinks that he sells that aren't British, right?
Yeah, but so the way they kind of got around it, like Kopparberg,
it's Swedish or something.
It's
right?
Swedish, but they've got a UK manufacturer.
Oh, right. I see. Okay.
So he only gets it from the UK manufacturer.
Yeah, but then Jägermeister has a UK manufacturer in Manchester.
All right, but he's not having any of that.
But he's not having that. He's not having bottled stuff, but the pint stuff, yeah.
Yeah, he's the most bland person I think I've ever encountered. Not in person, but seen.
Yeah, he's a bit of a weirdo.
Because when you start Spoons, you get the induction video of chat, talking you through.
He's really lovely, and then you meet him when he's pissed.
It's all everything's at this level, and he doesn't move his face, and he doesn't. It's you feel like repulsed by his baby.
Do you think because there's a lot of if you watch E3, all of the company directors are like that as well, where they're trying to hype you up and they're trying to be inviting and we're not here to steal your money.
Yeah,
but it's all very robotic. They talk about the most exciting thing that they've ever experienced.
Yeah.
As if they're just reading out the shopping list.
I think
so. Do you think that that's behavior that is picked up as you ascend through the chain, or do you think these really boring people are just for some reason really appropriate for that position.
I think in Tim Martin's case, it's just a case of being a bit old and a bit outdated.
Yeah, he's definitely out of touch.
Yeah, out of touch.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Tim Martin. He's just alienated with his wealth, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Whereas with E3, I think that's probably more down to they're quite aspy people.
Okay.
Rather than disconnected from the reality.
Yeah.
They are nerds.
I can understand how your wealth would disconnect you from other people if you had a significant wealth like Tim Martin does. Yeah. But surely the guy's got a lot of time on his hands. There's no real excuse.
He goes around and gets pissed.
Yeah, there's no real excuse for him to be out of touch. He's got nothing but time, basically.
Well, what does he do? Because he's the CEO.
Yeah, that is from the multiple people that I know who've worked at Spoons. That seems to be my understanding of him. He picks one of his pubs at random, goes there and gets drunk.
Yeah, well,
that's all he does.
It'll come down to Cardiff and go to all of them.
He
and then collects the check.
Just an aspect as Jeremy Clarkson without the charisma. That's what I get from him. The kind of guy who would live in the country, wears denim and goes to the pub.
Yeah. Thinks all learner drivers should be shot. That kind of guy. Yeah.
Hates cyclists.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely hates
that kind of guy. But he just lacks the charisma.
I'm definitely getting sacked when this goes live.
Is he still in trouble? Is Spoon still in trouble after that whole lockdown malarkey with the wages?
Nah, people realise they want cheap drinks.
Yeah.
I had a woman literally come up to me and she was like, well, I was going to boycott, and then I remembered it was cheap, and then you did the eat out to help out deal, which was 15% off, and well, we've been here every night this week. I was like, I fucking know you have, love.
You know, it's one of the. I know you from the beginning said that this wasn't going to change people's minds, but it is one of those things where I was like, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe in this age of people who claim to have morals and we're going to change things and with justice and all that shit, I thought maybe some people would stick by it. But now that Spoons has reopened and everyone is going back, it's of course that was going to happen.
Well, before we talked about with the riots and everything, and just it was so
Are we stated, by the way, what this whole Spoons malarkey is?
Oh, we'll do it in a sec.
Okay.
The riots, we were saying it was surprising because you assume that people have a base level of, when all said and done, there's a base morality of, you can't kill people. Remember? And that was what was so surprising about it. I think Spoons is one of the few things that's actually held up where you're
Spoons is the base morality.
The courage of your convictions will not hold up.
Yeah.
There are some things that just won't change, and Spoons is definitely one. Whatever you say, you're going to go back to Spoons because it's cheap.
Yeah.
And you're young and you don't have any money.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a financial thing.
Or you're
financial boycott.
You're old and you're alcoholic.
Or you're old
and they'll keep saying.
But they didn't care anyway, right?
Well, no, I suppose no. Yeah, they didn't.
The Spoons fiasco was that he was initially refusing to pay furlough.
No, so what he said was that he couldn't pay
afford
us
it
without the government's help.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And then the unions stood up and made a deal about it.
Yeah.
And then the very next day, we all got told we were being paid furlough week one.
Well, but he couldn't afford it without the government, but the government were paying most of the furlough.
Yes, but the furlough scheme wasn't originally going to start until the end of April.
Yeah, there was a month delay between them going on furlough and then being paid for furlough.
I see, okay.
So that was going to be the thing.
Yeah.
And then we just got paid.
Yeah.
Straight from the off. Everyone was even now we've had people who think we didn't get paid.
Yeah.
The entire time. It's no, that's bollocks.
As that Never Spoons app, is that still a thing? It is still a thing.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's basically an app that I assume it was developed independently by someone.
Yeah.
Basically, they'll give you a list of non-Wetherspoons pubs in the area that you can go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 quid for a pint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's always frustrating when shit like that happens, though. Because, we've defended capitalism, I guess, a couple of times on this podcast. It's it's a flawed system, but it's the best system that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I've always, expressed frustration when people are oh, we shouldn't have such things as billionaires. That's just proof that it's a broken system.
Yeah.
It's no, it's proof that you can...
You can become a billionaire.
You can become a billionaire.
Yeah.
That system allows you to be as successful as that. But then you have companies pulling bullshit like that.
But that's not a byproduct of capitalism, is it? That's
it's not, but it makes it harder to defend, doesn't it?
Not capitalism.
A little bit.
Why?
Well, just because that's the system that they're exploiting almost, isn't it? Like this guy is making God knows how much money a year.
Yeah.
And then, when push came to shove, he was like, I don't have the money to pay all my staff.
Yeah. But that is not a product of capitalism, is it? That's just a guy exercising his rights under the law. Like, he's not legally obliged to do that.
Well, he's probably legally obliged to pay his staff, which he was claiming he couldn't do.
Yes.
Yes, but he also
under normal
couldn't
circumstances
afford the rent for all of 800 pubs.
Yeah.
Because the rent for all of that is something like £750 million a year.
Yeah, and it wasn't making any money. Like, I don't know.
You could say in a way it's a byproduct because he's a greedy man.
Yeah.
And it's only possible to be as greedy in a capitalist system.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's a critique of capitalism as it is a critique of Tim Martin.
Yeah, no, it's the greed it is. That's what makes it difficult. Like at the moment I'm going through a redundancy, both me and my father, because we worked for the same company. And we found out that, I don't know if this is like a thing with companies in general, but basically we're obviously in our redundancy period at the moment, at the end of which we'll get redundancy pay. But then after that, there's what's it called? I knew the word right up until I needed to say it. Notice. We have a notice period after that, which is basically like for every year we've worked at the company, we get a week's pay.
Yeah.
Right.
So for example, I've worked 5 full years at the company. So after the redundancy period is over, I will get 5 weeks pay.
Yeah.
However,
You get a gold watch?
I don't get a gold watch. No, nothing like that. And my dad has been working for the company, like the maximum is 12, and he's been working there over 12 years, so he gets 12 weeks redundancy pay or notice pay. However, if you get a new job during that period, you forfeit the notice money.
Okay.
So people have asked the company, like, look, you've let us go. You obviously don't want us to work for you anymore. Can we just have the money in one installment? You can cut us loose. And the company were like, no.
Yeah.
Because basically that means like if people get a new job during the notice period, which most people are going to have to do out of necessity, the company don't have to pay you that money anymore.
Yeah.
So rather than pay you all of the money that you're owed in one go and just cut you loose, they're basically putting you in a position where you have to get a new job and you have to forfeit the money that you're owed. So they get to keep that money, It's not illegal, but it's
Well, no,
scummy.
I mean, you don't have to get, because you're getting paid as if you were working. So it's not like you're broke and... Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, but that's the thing.
You're incentivized not to get a new job.
Yeah.
Which is... I don't know where I stand on that, actually. Because, I mean, if you got a job that was higher paying, for example...
Yeah, exactly.
I guess if you...
You're kind of stuck with the... So, for example, I think I have to... To get the money that I'm owed, I basically have to stay out of work until, like, the end of October.
Yeah.
On, like, £100 a week.
Yeah.
Which is nothing, Yeah. It was barely enough before, but now I'm only getting that every week.
Yeah. So what... You were minimum wage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Minimum wage part-time. I was being paid as little as humanly possible.
As legally possible.
Yeah.
She gets more water.
Okay, go.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if you bagged yourself a job that was higher paying, you wouldn't care that much. I know that you're owed a redundancy package.
That's the thing. Yeah, I understand. Like, any job I get will either be equal or more pay than what I was getting.
Yeah.
So in that respect, I can't be too hard done.
Yeah.
Like, I can't act too hard done by. But also, it's money that I'm owed by the company. So for them to basically dish it out in a fashion where I would have to forfeit that rather than them paying me what I owe, that feels a bit, It's certainly greed.
I'm going to be controversial.
Go on.
And think that's a sound thing to do.
I mean, in what respect?
It's certainly fiscally sound.
For the company,
for the company.
We found a way that we can potentially save money, but we're screwing over...
Because you're not really being shafted. You're just not getting more than you could, if you know what I mean. You're getting paid exactly...
I'm getting less than I was promised, though, is the thing. We're all getting less than we're promised.
But you're getting paid a weekly salary, right?
I will be, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If I get a job, I'll lose that weekly salary.
Yes, but this is my point. If you don't get a job, if nothing happens now, you'll be paid as if you were still doing that job. But in your particular case, you could only get paid the same or more, right? So they're not like fucking you over in that sense. You're just not getting more money, like your redundancy and a new salary.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I stand on it. I'm definitely not like...
I mean, I'm thinking more about... Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I was so low down the food chain, this kind of stuff doesn't really...
Yeah.
It's more the people who worked there for like 20, 30 years, how they're kind of getting like shafted a little bit. A lot of the people who worked there, because it was... they dealt with cars.
Yeah.
A lot of the staff own company cars, which they have to give back to the company because they no longer work for the company anymore. So they're going to be left without a vehicle on a weekly salary that's probably not going to be enough for them to buy a new car.
Yeah. I suppose because the company, I mean, they could probably afford to pay lump sums.
I think that's an option. I don't think it's like, oh, you have to pay it weekly. Like the company have chosen to pay it weekly.
Yeah. So that's, I'm trying to think of what I would do if I was a business leader. I think like I admire the strategy of we'll pay you weekly, but if you get another job, then it's negated. I admire that. I feel like if I was a company...
In the sense that you admire the audacity of it?
No, I admire it's sound business practice.
Yeah, so
that's good. Yeah.
Is the point.
Yeah, I admire it for that.
But that's how you do now.
Yeah, I admire that. I don't admire the humanity of it.
Yeah.
I admire the business strategy of it. But I feel if I was a company leader, I like to think I would pay it as a lump sum. Like, here's your redundancy package. Go get another job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the argument a lot of people are making. It's like, you got rid of us. You don't want us to work here anymore.
Yeah.
You've broken the law. This is a whole other thing. But you've broken the law basically by not offering us positions within the company.
Right.
And yet you're keeping us on a leash. You're not cutting us free even though you don't want us. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, in an ideal world, they would want you, is the thing, right?
Yeah.
They just
well,
can't
that's the thing.
afford to
This
keep
whole
you going.
breaking the law thing. This is not something that I knew about.
Yeah.
This is something that I've heard from people, but I trust them. And that is that apparently, again, I don't know if it's just a this company thing or whether it's a general thing. If you're made redundant through circumstances beyond your control, so not like you weren't fired, like what happened with us, it's like our business flooded.
Yeah.
So we were put on furlough before coronavirus was even a thing. Now we've all been let go because that business is not going to be refurbished. What the company then have to do is everyone at dealerships or like other businesses within a reasonable distance have to also be made redundant, and then everyone has to reapply for their jobs.
Right.
Which what that basically means is you're not losing the best people. So say for example I'm the third best salesman at X dealership, and X dealership gets shut down, but there are people at Y dealership who are infinitely worse at their job. I'm given the chance to keep my job at their expense. So the company are always keeping the best staff, if that makes sense. But the company are not doing that.
Right.
Even though it's a legal requirement for them to do that, and the businesses are in close proximity, they're just letting those people go. They're not giving them
It's a legal requirement, is it?
Apparently, yeah.
That's weird. That shouldn't be legally required, right?
Well, that's the thing. It's sort of on the surface, it seems a bit like, oh, you lose your job, like you're made redundant, but someone else loses their job. But what that ensures is that the best people are always keeping their jobs.
Yes, like I'm all for the meritocracy, but it feels like that should be the company's decision, not like...
Well, that's their argument. It's our decision. It's not a legal requirement, it's our decision.
I mean,
they've also said that like these other businesses would also have to be shut down for that to come into effect.
Yeah.
To which the counter-argument is, well, if those businesses are shut down as well, what jobs are we reapplying for?
It's a legal... I mean, it either is a legal requirement or isn't, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it is, then they've got to do it.
Yeah.
If it isn't, then I don't think they should have to do that.
Okay.
Because, yeah, like, it's not right that... I get by because I'm the 5th best salesman at this thing. I'm not the best. I'm not the worst. But you know what? Like, I do my job. And all of a sudden I've lost it because you had the unfortunate flooding. And now their best salesman is kicking everyone down a peg.
Yeah.
And so I lose my job.
Which I understand.
Yeah.
But then again, if you are the worst employee in that company, why should a better employee lose their job because of circumstances beyond their control?
But it's an act of God, isn't it?
It is an act of God.
I'm all for meritocracy. Like, I think, the best people should keep their jobs. But at the same time, it's a little bit unfair. That, like, but I did my job. Like, I might be the worst, but I'm still good at it. But all of a sudden, because a fire happened over there, I've got to lose my job now. Yeah, that's not fair.
Not necessarily. Like, you could be the worst at your job because you don't do your job properly.
Yeah, but I'm saying, let's take the example of someone who is good at their job. They're just the worst at it.
Yeah.
It's not fair they should have to lose it because an unfortunate thing happened.
But isn't it
over there?
Isn't it just as unfair that the best salesman shouldn't lose his job because
bad luck. That you just had shit luck, I'm afraid. Do you know what I mean?
The worst salesman's had shit luck as well. Because he lost his job, even though somebody else's dealership.
Yeah, but that's a man-made disaster. I'm talking about like this is literally well, not literally, but you know what I mean. It's an act of nature, isn't it? It's flooding. It's not like the company reshuffling or a shit thing happened to you. Sorry, dude. Like, I think they should try and find positions for those salesmen in other branches. I don't think it should just be, you're done now.
Yeah.
but I don't feel like it's fair that someone loses their job because of that. It's like, is there an opening? All right, we'll put you here.
But that's the other thing as well. It's not just, right, who's the worst salesman? Okay, you, bye-bye. Everyone is given the opportunity. Everyone's given the same opportunity. You've all been made redundant.
Yeah.
There are X amount of jobs available. Go for it. You know?
What do you mean?
Well, that's the system.
Yeah.
If a salesman loses their job, then somebody in a dealership within reasonable distance, they all lose their jobs. So all of the salesmen have to reapply for the salesman jobs, and the best salesmen get in.
Right.
And the worst salesmen lose.
What are you saying? Right. A flood happens at site A.
Yeah.
And person A is the best salesman at site A.
Yeah.
And then person B is the worst salesman at site B.
Yeah.
And the company really wants to place person A somewhere.
Yeah.
It is a sensible decision to go, well, we get rid of person B at site B and put in person A.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, like you would do that if you were a sensible company.
Yeah.
But I would still,
like I said, there's a buffer between that. Like I said, it's not just we're getting rid of person B without
you can
trial,
reapply.
if that makes sense. Like you're both given the same, you both have to reapply for that job. You're given the same opportunity.
Yeah, that's fair. And maybe it would be a case of, okay, now you've got to fight for your job again. Everyone's got to like make X amount of sales.
Yeah.
And,
here's your chance to prove that you're actually not the worst salesman.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But that's the grassroots labour thing of me saying I still think it's unfair. If you were coasting, but you were doing your job, and all of a sudden, because someone else had bad luck, you have to lose your job.
Yeah.
That's like fight the system.
No, I think that's interesting. Like, is that actually a good system? Like, if one person loses their job, everybody's made redundant, so everyone has an equal opportunity to regain their job.
I don't know about being made redundant. I would say, okay, they've lost their jobs, but they're really good people over there this company wants to keep. So we're going to set a threshold, and if any of you fall below this threshold at site B, you're going to be terminated, and we're going to bring in the better people from... I think that's a good system.
But it's also by making it
smart as well.
Yeah, and it gives the coasters incentive to do better.
But it also it also gives them the opportunity to properly assess the person at site A. Yeah. It's like, oh, you were the third best salesperson because of figures.
Yeah.
But now that we've seen you in the interview, you're actually terrible.
Maybe approach it like they're getting paid their redundancy money, but approach it like an internship. Okay, you come over to our site now. We can't pay you a proper wage yet. But yeah, everyone's going to be pitted against each other. It's going to be like, what's the David Mamet thing? The hyper business. What's that? Glengarry, Glen Ross.
Right.
Where it's about a bunch of people who have to sell stocks and stuff. Alec Baldwin, you've probably seen the speech where he's like, what's the famous line? Not always be closing. Is that what it is? Something like that.
Yeah, always be closing. Sounds.
That's a thing. I don't know, when losers don't get something. I gotta Google this. It's like a very famous, like hyper masculine. All these guys like having like ulcers and sweating over keeping their jobs.
Right.
Glengarry, Glen Ross. I'm doing the Eddie.
You are doing the Eddie.
Losers.
Real talk, Eddie. Though, what's the point in having him if you can't even remember shit?
That is what you're good for. To be fair,
you just know shit off the top of your head.
That's what I'm good for, is it?
Yeah.
Not keeping this podcast afloat.
No.
I mean, you provide the house.
I provide the house. Yeah. You have to bear with me here. Now, only closers get coffee.
Bitches.
No, only closers. Yeah, only closers get coffee. Ha! Okay. I did remember it before I googled it.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
like
you.
Just before.
Fuck you, bitch.
Like I
still remember.
That's just as bad as like just waiting till Google shows you the answer.
How is it? How is it just as bad?
Because you're there. Like the information is there. You just haven't seen it yet.
Well, that's always true if you don't know something.
No, but there's a difference between you just sitting in that chair, staring at a blank laptop screen going, I can't remember.
You are saying...
Versus you staring at the article going, I can't remember.
If the quality we're judging here is my ability to simply remember things without provocation.
Yeah.
You're saying there's a meaningful...
So you admit that you were provoked?
No, without provocation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't provoked.
Okay.
Without provocation.
Right.
You're saying there's a meaningful discrepancy to be made between if I was sitting on that couch and remembered it there,
then
I walked over to sit down and before I typed remembered it, You're saying that there's a meaningful difference between those two things.
Well, there's nothing to say that like coming over and typing it in was provocation enough for you to remember that information. If you're just sitting on that couch,
right,
and there's no like external stimuli.
But there was. So what I was thinking was...
No, there wasn't. You're just sitting on a sofa. Whereas now you're physically typing the words in.
The stimuli was me thinking Glengarry Glen Ross monologue.
Yeah.
And as I was typing it in, I remembered it.
Yeah.
So you're saying the physical action of me typing out GLEN...
That is a form of stimuli, is it not?
Okay, but what are we judging here? Should I have to remember things without thinking of things? Is that what you're saying?
No, you shouldn't have to make the effort to go find that information.
But what's thinking if not making an effort to think of something?
No, physically. A physical effort.
Typing?
Yeah.
What if someone paces while they're thinking of something?
No, you're allowed to do... No, my point is...
Yeah.
It would have been more impressive if you just knew that information.
So
as opposed to having to look it up.
But I didn't look it up.
The fact that you looked... No, you did look it up. Like, it doesn't matter that you didn't see that information.
Of course it does.
No, it does.
Of course it
because
does.
it's infinitely less impressive. Like,
why is it
all you had to do was wait...
Listen, it might be less... Like, it might be less
the
impressive.
information was there.
It might be less impressive. It's not infinitely less impressive.
It is.
What are you judging here? My ability... My haste in remembering
Like, if you were just sitting there and going, oh, what's the Glengarry Ross speech? Closers always get coffee.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's impressive. What's that Glengarry
Only
Ross
closers
speech?
get coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't. You said closers always get coffee. You said closers always get coffee.
Okay.
Only closers get coffee.
It was the same words.
No, always wasn't in there.
Yeah, closers always get coffee.
No, only closers get coffee.
Only closers get coffee. It was the same principle.
No, it's not impressive.
Okay.
Oh, I missed this so much.
My point being, Sam, if you were just sitting in that chair and you were like, oh, what's that information?
Yes.
Oh, this is the information.
That's
impressive. But if you go, what's that information? I can't remember. I got to look up that information now. That's less impressive.
Let's put the hedge in there that I didn't see the information. I did remember it.
Yeah.
But I was typing as I remembered.
Yeah.
So if what we
takes the shine off it at the very least. Would you not agree?
I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to... If you're judging my haste at remembering it, yes, it is less impressive that I didn't remember it instantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Yes. But I did remember it.
If you see like a fire breather,
and
he's just in the street and he just breathes fire, you're like, holy shit, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
But if you see a fire eater in the street and he's like, right, and he starts like shoving, what was it, like not corn syrup, whatever they put down their throats to block their throats. When you see him do that and then you see him breathe fire, you go, I'm not as impressed. I'll be honest.
Okay. Fine. Forget all the stimulant bullshit. If we are purely judging my speed at remembering things, then yes, I agree that faster is obviously better.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's not just speed, it's you're sitting in that chair. There was no opportunity at this present moment for you to be given the answer. But you were at that laptop, that information was coming to you, and then you remembered it.
But this is the thing where you're doing a Jordan and you stop making sense. Because... Again, unless you think there's a meaningful difference between me being in another room and walking into this room to type.
That's the thing. I don't want it to just be like, oh, you just have to remember that information quickly. That's all I need to be impressed. But it's the fact that you're making strides to fit.
The thing that you saying stimulated my remembering it was already the stimulus in my head.
Yes.
I saw nothing new that made me think, oh, it's that.
Okay.
Glengarry Glen Ross are the only words currently up on the screen.
Yeah.
Which are the words I was thinking in my head.
Okay.
Which I said out loud as well. There's nothing additional here.
No.
Just time. Time is the only addition.
But you were typing it out.
The words that I said out loud and were in my head. Nothing new.
I think you're just relying on a technicality here.
I'm not relying on a technicality. I'm conceding the only addition here is time.
Yeah.
It took more time. I don't think you can say my physically typing out Glengarry Glen Ross somehow deflates my ability to remember it.
What I'm saying is if you'd taken exactly the same amount of time to remember that information...
Without typing it,
it would still have been more impressive.
I disagree.
No.
What if I just sat you going Glengarry Glen Ross, Glengarry Glen Ross, Glengarry Glen Ross, and then remembered it? Is that more impressive than typing it out? Why?
Yeah. Because I know that information came from your head.
But it still came from my head.
Yeah, but you were typing on the laptop.
But how is that? Okay, you tell me then, because you're quantifying this. What is the difference, meaningfully, between typing something out and just repeating it to yourself?
Let me draw a diagram. Eddie, where's paper?
This is silly.
I haven't got any.
Why did you not bring paper? You always, you know.
I don't need it anymore.
In an argument, I always need to draw a diagram.
No, I mean you do, but I didn't know you were going to do that. I didn't know we were going to have a debate that I was just going to watch.
Furthermore, we'll just cap it off with this, right? Because this isn't going anywhere.
Okay.
I'm not a visual learner either.
Okay.
I don't learn from seeing things out in front of me.
Right.
I read information and maintain it in my head. That's how I learn. So it's even more impressive.
How?
Because me seeing the words on a screen wouldn't provoke me. Because that's not how I learn things.
Look, Sam,
it's done. It's over.
We're agreed that you having to type it in took the shine off it.
We're not agreed on that.
We are agreed on that. Let's move on.
I will agree that taking slightly more time is less impressive than taking no time.
Well, I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah, it is. That is the only true thing that's happened in this conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. I don't know what we're moving on to. What are we talking about?
Well, I went for a walk.
Did that interrupt a conversation that was happening?
No, we were coming to the end of it.
Okay,
anyway.
okay.
Yeah, I went for a walk.
Okay.
A little while ago. Yeah.
Nothing happened?
Well, actually, no. It did. I went for a walk in this place I hadn't been to before. It's like this forestry area. And on my way back, I encountered these two people who were lost.
Right. And you murdered them.
I did not murder them.
Did you rape them?
I did not rape them.
Did you hit them?
I encountered these two people.
It's 2020. You've got to do one of those things.
Yeah.
And they were lost. And like, do you get that thing where like
he's the hitchhiker? No, he's the driver.
What?
You pick up the hitchhiker.
The driver picks up the hitchhiker.
Oh, I'm the
It's
Kemper.
called the rope and the kerosene.
The Ed Kemper.
Yeah.
Oh, we were actually watching an Ed Kemper documentary yesterday, and my sister figured out that Ed Kemper was the Zodiac killer.
Okay. All right.
Because think about it, they were operating in the same area.
Were they?
At the same, in California. It was him, it was the Zodiac killer, Ed Kemper, and there was another one.
Yeah, but like most serial killers are in California.
Yeah, but they were all, it was all like basically around the same time.
Okay.
It was those three serial killers.
He's not, is
How
he?
pissed off must you be
Yeah.
if you're a serial killer? Like you've resorted to that way of life.
Resorted to it.
Yeah.
I like that.
And
Like you've exhausted all your other options.
Yeah, exactly. And you're doing all those, you're performing these despicable, heinous actions in the pursuit of initially catharsis, but then at the end of it, like infamy. Like, I will go down in infamy.
Sometimes, yeah.
And you find out that there were two other serial killers that operated in the same area as you at the same time that will be remembered forever. And you will always be the third guy. You'll always be the... What's the name of the guy that didn't step foot on the moon?
Yeah, Michael Collins.
Yeah, you'll always be the Michael Collins
of
serial killers. How pissed off must you be?
Yeah, that is annoying.
Yeah.
It's like sort of like the whole thing of it inside Llewyn Davis, isn't it? Like, what if you were the guy that happened to play the open mic on the night that Bob Dylan did?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, these people were lost. And I was going to ask, do you ever have that thing where, like, you're doing something and you're doing it successfully, but then if someone calls you out on it, it's like, oh, how are you doing that thing? You have no idea how to explain it to them. Yeah. It was a similar situation where I was walking through this place that I'd never been to before, but I kind of instinctively sort of like, oh, I'll find my way back. But then the moment they asked for directions, I was immediately lost as well.
Right.
I had no idea where I was. So we all got lost together.
Right.
So we all sort of intuited our way back to the way out. They said thank you, and they went on their merry way.
Who are these people?
Don't know.
No, like, what do they look like?
People.
How old are they?
They're probably like our age, I think.
They're our age?
Yeah.
Man, woman, men, women?
Well, it was a couple.
A man and a woman?
Yeah, a man and a woman.
Okay.
But, like, he was from Newport.
Right.
And he was,
Newport.
Yeah. But also, he was like a lad.
Okay.
He was like a Newport lad.
Right.
And she was like
a lass.
Yeah.
A Newport lass.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They weren't like
a ladette.
Yeah, they weren't the most cultured of people.
No.
But yeah, they said thank you. They went on their merry way, and I never seen them again. I never will see them again.
Yeah.
Because they're in the boot of your car.
My question is, if there is...
You'll see them when they're his slaves in paradise.
Yes.
My question is, if there is a God, a divine being who is, everything that happens is of their design, where does that fit into the whole thing?
What? Your experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I went for a walk. This couple asked me how to get back. I couldn't provide them with that information. We walked back together, and now they're gone. Nothing was gained.
You are 25 years old today.
Yes.
Is this the first time you've ever experienced something that seemed basically pointless?
No. No.
Because that happens a lot.
Yeah, it happens a lot, Eddie. Yeah. No. It's the most recent time that I've experienced that. So it stood out to me because I had that thought afterwards.
Okay.
Like, genuine. Like, if this is all like God's plan, if all of reality is just God's plan playing out, where does that fit into the plan?
You were the scene in Fargo where she meets the Chinese dude. Where it's like, this has nothing to do with what's going on.
Exactly.
This is just colour.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the conditional...
Well, I'm hardly a colourful person. Like, it wasn't a stimulating conversation we had.
This is in there for no reason whatsoever, other than to be there.
Well, no, because usually scenes like that, it's either... Apologies. It's either like world building...
Yeah.
A little bit. Or like you said, it's colour. It's to give the scene a bit of...
Well, no, I think in
they say
this
something,
case...
Or they'll say something...
Yeah.
That will like summarise the theme of the film.
Yeah, but Fargo is notorious for this scene because it doesn't do those. I think in Fargo's case, and it kind of ties in with this, is to lend it a veracity, a verisimilitude.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea of Fargo is it's based on a true story. And in true stories, things happen of no consequence. And so it's the very same thing. Something happened to you of no consequence.
Yeah.
Because that's what life is. But your conditional clause
that's the thing. It's life. It doesn't need verisimilitude. It is truth.
Yeah. But that's
it just is.
But life is full of pointless random encounters.
Yeah, but why?
Because that's what life is.
If life was designed, if this is...
Okay, but this... Yeah, right. So the important thing here is the conditional clause. If there were a God that designed reality.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to answer you then. Theologians have tried for thousands of years.
Yeah, but I'm not asking, like, what's the meaning of life? I'm asking what's the meaning of this...
You kind of are.
No. What I'm asking is, like, the meaning of this one encounter.
How can I answer what the meaning of this one encounter is if I don't know what the point of the whole thing is?
Well, because it's one part of the answer. I'm giving you, like, a small part of... I'm providing you with a stepping stone to the answer of the meaning of life. I don't know why you're fighting me on this, Sam.
No, I can't answer what I think this means if I don't know what the whole point is.
Well, surely the answer of what this means will help lead you to the point of what...
No, because it could mean anything. Its whole pointlessness could be the point.
Yeah. See? So, you were led to an answer there.
Yeah, but there's 1,000 answers that I could give you.
Well, what makes the most sense to you?
If there were a God, why'd this happen?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of God are we talking about?
Well, one that has designed life. What's not benevolent? That's like good.
Omnipotent. Present.
Omni-made anything being.
Right.
Whatever that word is.
Yeah.
Omni-creator.
The creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Created, like, I'm going to create this scenario where these, like, three people who've never met and will never meet again get momentarily lost and share inane conversation.
Well, we need to agree on our definitions here. So by God, we are saying a creative agency that...
He's the writer, basically.
It's a he.
Of reality. They are.
It's a creative force.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. We don't need to define... We don't need to, like, denote what the God is.
No, we kind of do. This is why.
No, because the God is just the writer of reality.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
Who God is...
Yeah, no, it
doesn't really matter.
Yes, it does.
Why does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter if it's Yahweh or Allah or whatever name you give it. It matters in the quality of this God. Is this God a person who designed reality to a specific end?
Right.
That is written a book that has a point? Or is it a God that threw, dust into nothing and has no control or cares what happens? What God are we talking about? We're talking about the one that this is a novel that's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Right, there's a point.
Yeah.
There's a point to human experience, and presumably that we learn something.
Yes.
Right. So what could we possibly learn from your experience if the universe has an express purpose?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay, thank you, Sam.
What do you think it is?
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't mean anything.
No.
Because I didn't like these people.
No.
Like the guy reminded me of a guy that I worked with at the university who was very much like him. I already know that I don't like those kinds of people. So this guy wasn't going to change my mind on the matter.
No.
If that's what it was, if the idea was, this encounter is to help change your mind and show, these like Newporty, laddish twats are actually good people. This was not the forum to do it.
Okay, so it's not that.
So it's not that.
Right. But do you understand how it could be an infinite amount of things? It could be the case.
Yes, I want to whittle it down from an infinity to, at the very least, a short list.
But I don't know if we can get a short list. For example, let's just say in 10, 20 years' time, right? this podcast becomes a juggernaut, somehow changes the world in a really big way, right? Hypothetical.
Yeah.
And so God created this situation so that we would have content to fill up this particular podcast. Because maybe the fact that we had nothing to talk about would dispirit us, and we decided not to do another podcast.
Right.
So maybe we needed this thing to happen so we could talk about it.
But we were going to do this podcast regardless.
No, but you never know. You never know. Maybe this one goes so terribly.
But you declared at the end of episode 30 we'd be back for episode 31, and this happened after.
No, I'm talking about 32.
Right, okay.
Maybe this podcast goes so terribly without this story that it completely... we become jaded and we don't want to do it again.
Right.
You don't become the first transgender Queen of England.
Right, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Have you been having a different conversation, Eddie?
No, I'm just taking
Am I gonna play this back and I'm gonna hear like all of this, like all of these interjections from you that me and Sam are just not responding to?
Maybe without this experience, the Funfiltered podcast is derailed off the tracks, and the train the juggernaut that it becomes in the future won't happen without this story.
Okay.
It could be that.
Do you feel like this was premium content?
No. But but do you get my point?
I get your
point. The
point.
idea that it could be literally anything.
Yeah.
He did it because, I don't know, if you didn't go on that walk, you'd have a coronary.
Okay.
And so you needed to get a bit lost.
But it was the same distance I would have walked had I not got lost.
Okay, it was not that then. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe that it depends how you judge it. Because it's like, you can't say maybe he did this to stop something else from happening, because he's the one that decides that thing never happened anyway.
Yeah.
It's just not like, oh, those people needed to get lost, because otherwise there would have been a tragic road accident, or it can't be that.
Yeah.
So it could be anything.
Maybe it's important in their story, not in yours.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is possible, but like I said, I'm hardly a colourful individual. No. It's not like they left and like, do you know what? I'm sad we'll never see that person again.
Yeah.
They probably forgot about me the moment that they left.
Yeah.
You know?
This does feel like an incredibly pointless conversation. Because its whole operating principle, none of us believe in.
Right.
None of us believe that God created that, do we?
Eddie, do you?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
Well, I was asking Eddie because Eddie's been quiet through the whole...
Yeah, he said no.
Yeah, there you
do
go.
You?
Yeah. So we don't think that it's...
Do you think God created that situation?
We don't think this was a worthwhile conversation that has been had.
No, I mean, it filled time.
Yeah.
It did that. If nothing else, it got us...
I'd have hoped time. This podcast would have more value than just filling time, you know?
Does it?
I know that's what a lot of podcasts do.
Yeah.
They just kind of fill time. Or at the very least, they sort of fill the silence while you're doing a thing.
Well, at least we are doing nothing with a certain degree of panache, I suppose.
Are we?
I mean, there's not a reckless disregard. Most podcasts when nothing happens are people not saying much. And so I'm playing this video game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to this
we're
room.
not that.
That is, at least this is like a, at least this is a, not flamboyant, at least this is a florid, pointless exercise.
Okay.
If nothing else, some good words were said in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that enough?
There's something insidious about
cretins?
that. There's something insidious about that, though, isn't there? Because it can fool certain people into thinking, oh, this was actually a productive conversation, or at the very least, this was a conversation where something happened.
I feel that's most conversations.
Like if the smart people speak smartly at each other, then I feel like something has been gained.
Yeah,
but it hasn't. We've come out of this conversation no better or worse than when we started.
No, but it's like, you've written, Eddie, you're a writer.
Yep.
I'm a writer. A large part of what we do is posture to look like we mean something.
Yeah.
So, but this is nothing
It's
new.
literally a conversation about a thing that happened and it meant nothing.
Yeah.
That's literally what this was.
Yeah, but there are worse ways to whittle away your finite time on this earth than listening to a pointless conversation that at least was expressed well.
Okay.
Because there are pointless conversations that aren't even expressed well.
Right.
And that truly is a waste of your time.
Like?
You want me to give an example of a pointless conversation?
Well, if you didn't have an
said?
Example, you shouldn't have opened yourself up to be asked for an example.
Do I need to provide an example for that?
Yeah,
it's like me saying kids die every day, and you go, okay, name one.
Yeah, name one.
I don't. I can't name one. Let's say I would stake any future fortune, personal fortune, on the fact that somewhere in the world right now, a pointless conversation expressed stupidly is happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you
We
could have
can all
just
agree
you could
on.
have just said like the hype house or something and left it at
I don't know what
that.
that is.
The TikToker house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But they're
there
making money at
probably
least.
like no end of pointless conversations happen under that
Yeah.
roof.
Yes, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
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 Speaking
But
of
they're not aware it's pointless. At least we're self-aware. I don't know whether that makes it better or worse.
yeah,
actually.
because we're always critical to a degree of self-awareness, aren't we?
Are we?
Well,
Of self-awareness.
yeah, not broadly.
I quite like self-awareness.
Yeah, self-awareness
You're
is...
talking about postmodernism.
I was going to say,
Okay.
self-awareness is a good thing, but self-awareness in a postmodern context
Yes.
is often just exhausting,
Right.
basically,
Okay.
and frustrating.
I mean, that was a postmodern conversation we just had because we deconstructed the very active conversation itself.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking...
News to me, Eddie.
we were talking about talking and how pointless it was.
Okay.
That was a very acid-style conversation.
Right. And now we're talking about how...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's postmodern.
Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
again, is a very acidy thing. You just
It is.
layer on
It's postmodern
the
squared.
levels of conversation that you're having.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until, like, the initial conversation is just sort of, like, buried underneath these layers and layers of
Right.
garbage.
Yeah.
Until you can't even remember.
Yeah, but
What you were talking
the thing
about.
that we usually dislike about postmodernism is that it's smart ass. And
Yes.
I think, what has this conversation been if not a lament?
Okay.
We've not been raveling it. Look how ironic we are. Like, kind of deconstructing the art of conversation. It's just been like, why are we doing this? So let's carry on and forget
Okay.
whatever happened.
Well, I brought up the hype house. I brought up TikTokers. Do you want to talk
I feel
about?
lightheaded now.
Well, do you want to talk about Belle Delphine?
Sure.
Oh.
I feel like that's an acceptable segue, right?
Yeah.
TikTok is the Belle Delphine.
Yeah.
Pointlessness, Belle Delphine.
So we mentioned her. I think it was 2 episodes ago, right?
Was it 2? Okay.
I think so. It's difficult to know because we record like a week in advance. Yeah, we mentioned it, and you were listening back to that audio.
Yeah.
And I think decided, I'll actually look up who Belle Delphine is
Right.
because you have no idea.
No idea.
Are you familiar with her
mistake.
I'm relatively familiar with her, yes.
now? Do you agree with Eddie's statement that it was a big mistake?
To look her up?
Yeah.
I don't know. My whole
Are
tone...
you? Do you feel happier knowing that you share
not
a
happier.
planet with Belle Delphine?
No. But you know when someone is really angry and they talk like this the whole time? And it's like, please get angry because I'm scared you're going to
You
stab
mean
me.
your general, how you generally talk?
Your general demeanour.
You know what I mean? Like, when you want someone, you've done something wrong and you want the person to get pissed off at you.
Yeah,
and like,
I'm not mad, I'm
No,
disappointed.
whatever. No, they don't even say that. It's just like either silence or whatever.
Okay.
So please give me an emotional
Yeah,
response.
yeah.
That is sort of my response to Belle Delphine. Not subdued anger. I've gone past kind of feeling anything about it.
Right.
And I'm just like this about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since that's not really acceptable in a podcast
No.
format,
No.
we're gonna have to dig a little bit into this.
Yeah.
You want me to kind of summon anger about it?
Yeah. Well, okay. So, do you have
I
any
can't
opinion
really.
on Belle
Yeah,
Delphine?
I do. But getting angry about her, I think, is like counterintuitive.
Okay. Well, you don't have to get angry.
No,
but
no,
at
no.
least tell us a little bit about.
Well, you guys knew her before I did. So why
Yeah.
don't you explain what she is?
Yeah. From my understanding, I think she is a TikToker, right?
She's got a TikTok.
She's got a TikTok, but she's like a. I don't want to say media personality or like YouTube personality.
She's a new media personality.
I don't even know if she's that. I think she's just someone who. Granted, I think that's what new media personalities are. They are just someone who's over there doing their own thing.
Yep.
But yeah, for a while she's just been a person who was over there doing her own thing.
NMP. We should make that a thing.
NMP.
An NMP.
An
A new-
NMP.
A new media
A new
personality.
media personality, yeah. Because that can encompass anything, isn't it? People usually say like vloggers.
Yeah.
I think when people think of like YouTube people, they think of like vloggers.
Yeah.
But I don't think Belle Delphine is a vlogger.
No, an NMP could be anybody who's become famous through the internet, really. But when I suppose the best examples to go to would be people who do a vlog or just do their own thing in their own house that's of no consequence.
Yeah, yeah.
And people inexplicably care.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's an e-gamer girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
Does she game?
That's her, she can game.
She can game. I don't know if
She's
again,
definitely
she generally
identified. I've
does.
seen e-gamer girl. That's one thing she's considered. It's that and something else, something to do with Japan.
Well, the
anime, maybe.
reason that I know about her is because she a little while ago, and I think I brought this up on the podcast
Yeah.
when we last talked about her. she started selling her own bathwater that she'd bathed in, Gamer Girl bathwater.
Yeah.
I think they were selling for like $30 for like a little tub like that. Like that. This is not going to mean anything to the audience, is it? What would you say? Like a
tub that,
like a salsa jar, like a little jar of salsa sized of Gamer Girl bathwater.
Marmite.
Or Marmite, yeah. Marmite might be better size.
Yeah, it's a good size.
Yeah, it's a good size.
Yeah.
It's a good size. Yes, and that was making a big stink on the internet.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of people who were like, oh, this is fucking stupid. But then there were also a lot of people who were like, well, she's sold out.
Yeah.
So, there's something going on here.
She's the kind of person that conservatives would simultaneously have to admire and loathe. Because someone who's like can make a fortune off that sort of thing. You've got to admire the entrepreneurialism of it.
But also look at her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's also like, she cosplays a lot.
Yeah.
She's famous for we looked up the word, what was it? Ahugu?
Ahaugo or something?
Hauga?
Ahagao.
It's the face she makes.
Yeah, the anime cum face, which she does a lot. Yeah, but the Gamer Girl bathwater thing, that's how I know her.
Okay.
Like I saw the H3 podcast video that they did where she sent him like a jar of her own spit.
Yeah.
I think,
nice.
In place because they'd sold out of Gamer Girl bathwater and he was going to buy one. Because that's the problem as well with YouTube. There's a lot of people who like, oh look, I've ironically bought Delphine's bathwater.
Irony. Yeah, that's something we often.
But you strip away the irony. You've just bought $30 worth of bathwater. You know?
As Mark Kermode says, postmodernism means never having to say your story.
Yeah, exactly. There's like one video, can't remember who did it, but one video where someone bought the bathwater and then drank it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, isn't it funny? I bought bathwater and drank it.
Yeah.
But you've just bought, that's what you've done. You've just bought bathwater and you've drank.
The only thing I'm trying to think of, if I've ever done anything, like bought something ironically. The only time I've ever done something vaguely like that, it was just as a joke to myself, even. I used a Jesus bookmark for Crime and Punishment.
Right.
So I like the idea of putting Christ into a nihilistic
There's
novel.
a bit more going on there than drinking bathwater.
Yeah, but it was just whenever I glanced, I go, God, I'm brilliant, aren't I? But
you were saying that to God as well, weren't you? God, aren't I brilliant?
To myself, yeah.
Yeah.
We're
just going to let that slide already.
Oh, we know his ego. We know his ego already. We know it. It's fine.
Go on.
Well, no, that's how I know Belle Delphine.
Okay,
I don't know if there was more that I had to explain.
How do you know Belle Delphine?
So, same time, there's a YouTuber I watch called Willany.
Called what?
It's called
Willany.
So that's his YouTube thing. His name's William Lenny.
Okay, right.
And he did a commentary thing about her.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen. Okay, so I decided to look her up. I saw two music videos.
Yeah.
The H3 segment talking about her.
Yeah, that I sent you. Yeah.
And I read her Wikipedia page, and then I didn't watch the videos, but loads of people saying we have to get rid of Belle Delphine and we have to stop her. And all that
Yeah.
Whenever I see this stuff, I just think, what would my grandfather think? And I think if I showed him video...
Have you ever considered, like, in situations like that, I was like, oh, what would he think? Have you ever considered actually introducing him to this?
No, because I just...
Not Belle Delphine.
He incorporated snowflake into his vocabulary a couple of years ago.
Okay.
About, millennials and like, oh, these snowflakes.
Yeah.
And that was like a revelation to me. Like, oh, you know the word snowflake. One of the reasons I wouldn't show him is I think if I showed my grandfather a video of Belle Delphine, he would die of bewilderment.
Okay.
It would confuse him so. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I have no context for what this is.
Yeah, that's fair point, actually.
So on the H3 podcast, they like her, right? Or he does, anyway.
That's the thing. I don't know whether he sincerely likes her. A lot of people who have collaborated with Belle Delphine, I don't know if they sincerely like her or whether they're doing it for the memes, as it were.
Yeah, or ironically.
Yeah.
I think she deserves neither our respect nor our hatred.
Okay.
She's just a consequence of the world as it is.
Okay.
There's no point getting angry about it. It genuinely transcends that for me. I'm not annoyed by it. She is to be regarded with a dispassionate, okay, maybe with a tinge of defeat in it, but the appropriate response to her is, okay, I never have to look at you ever again.
Right, okay.
She is to be made peace with and ignored.
Okay.
That's my opinion on Belle Delphine. There's no use getting like, oh, these fucking millennial. No. that she's a consequence of how the world is now.
She is, and she makes absolute bank, in terms of money. So, you can't really fault the fact that she's just...
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why you shouldn't hate her, because even if it's mercenary, she's catering to the baser impulses of her tragic fandom.
Yeah.
It seems to be a theme with this podcast, isn't it?
What?
Making money at our expense. Making bank at our expense.
Mm.
We're talking about spoons and stuff in the beginning. Now we're talking about Delphine.
Yeah. Yes, I mean...
Simpery. Is it Simpery? Yeah,
Simpery.
Because, what's the other one? Pokemon? Pokimane. She's another one. Where I think she's just sincerely a streamer, right? She doesn't,
Yeah.
But, yeah, there are a lot of... There's a simp community around her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If one allows oneself, you could be angry. One could be angry about the fact that if there's just a finite pool of money in the world... and some of it is going to her when it could be coming to us, for example. Okay, but you know what? We don't look like her.
No,
we're not her.
Yeah,
we don't put up the same kind of videos.
We don't put up the same kind of videos. That would be interesting.
That's a question.
Us doing an ass video.
Yeah,
I know it's kind of impossible to answer because if we looked like Belle Delphine, we wouldn't be the same people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because our personalities have molded. Our circumstances have molded our personalities. Yeah. But do you think if you looked, to the best of your knowledge, if you looked like Belle Delphine, would you make videos like that?
I can't even speculate because, you wouldn't be you if you looked like that.
Yeah.
The only thing I can speculate on is if I overnight looked like that.
Yeah.
I often thought, if I really pumped iron and I suddenly got ripped, would I be one of those guys who takes his shirt off at every opportunity? And I think I'm a human being for a week, for a week, and then I go, you know what? I hate those people. I hate them. I hated them when I wasn't them.
That's the problem. Is you've got people who do things like that. It's like, oh, I'll only do it for a week, or I'll do it once because it's funny, and now they just do it.
I'm not saying I would allow myself a week and then stop. I just know I'm a human being. I'm not ruling out the possibility that if it's warm, that I'm just not going to take my top off on the I might, but I know that wouldn't last because I would start to. Look at what you've become.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course you would for a bit.
Yeah,
you're a human being. You can't say that you wouldn't, right? You would. You'd be tempted to.
Yeah.
I can't answer.
No.
If I looked like her, what would I be like? You know, but no, I'd like to think no.
Yeah,
obviously, I'd like to think no.
Yeah. Well.
Do we have anything else to say about Belle Delphine?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, a little less angry than I'd hoped. Yeah. But I agree with your assessment.
It's just ignore it.
Yeah.
Just go away. Fart.
Fairy dust.
Gone. Fairy dust. Yeah. Gone. So do you want to talk about the exam thing?
Oh yeah, another bit of malarkey that's been happening in the past week or so. The A-level exam results happened. And obviously because of COVID, they weren't able to actually sit the exams.
Yeah.
So I think the idea was that the teachers, it was going to be assessed on their performance in class, a bit like university, where it's your performance in class. And then rather than doing the exam, the teachers would put forward a predicted grade.
Yeah.
And then the exam board would sort of decide on your final grade. Yeah. Now, my sister has gone through this process, which is why I've been following it so closely. So she was predicted to get 2 A's and a B. She was doing 3 A levels. She was awarded a B and 2 D's.
Okay.
In 2 cases, 2 grades lower, and in 1 case, 3 grades lower than what she was predicted.
Yeah.
Now, this is all based apparently on some algorithm that the WJEC, which is the exam board, put together. They basically fed all of this information into this algorithm, and it gave them these results. It doesn't seem right, does it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know much about it. One of the things I read was that students were going to be able to choose based on one of 3 things. Like, you can either go with your predicted grades.
Are you talking about the triple lock?
Yeah.
I think that's either Scotland or England.
Okay.
That's another problem, is all of the countries. Yeah. Initially, everyone was working on the same system, which was teachers give us the predicted grades, the exam board will award you your actual grade.
Yeah.
Then I think it was the night before the Scottish results, or the night after the Scottish results, which were appalling. They basically said, look, if you want, we can overturn that and you can actually have your predicted grade instead. Then England introduced a triple lock system in which it's not just the exam grade, it's also your predicted grades and mock examination grades, to which there was uproar over that because people were saying, well, mock exams are not officially sanctioned.
Yeah.
And there is no one system that schools use when it comes to mock. So someone could get a D in a mock exam, and someone from another school could get a B.
Yeah.
But if you gave them the same exam, they'd both get a D. You know?
Yeah, I don't know how this algorithm worked.
No. Well, it didn't. I think it's people's general impression is that it did not work.
Hasn't worked
Did
out.
basically everyone get lower grades, or are we just hearing about the ones?
40% of people got lower grades.
Than they were predicted.
Yes.
Okay. Is
That
that
is-
accurate?
I mean, that's a high number if it is.
Well, that's the problem.
But I don't know what would the general number be. Do most people get what they predicted, get under or get over? Because I don't know. I can't even remember what my predicted.
That's the
grades were.
thing. I don't know. The problem here is that whether these the exam results were accurate or not, it's put us in a position where no one really trusts the grades anymore.
No, that is the problem, and you shouldn't go off an algorithm. I don't know what the solution should have been.
No, the solution they've come up with, because I was going to bring this up on the podcast initially as like something should be done about this.
Yeah.
Then something was done about this.
Right.
In Wales, at the very least, they are giving you your predicted grades. My sister now has
Okay.
2 A's and a B instead of her B and 2 D's.
See, I don't think
It's
that's
just as
fair.
well because there's a lot of. This is the other problem as well. I will let you talk.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt you. But a lot of people, because they had lower grades, their universities, their first choice universities, rejected them because like your grades don't reflect the offer that we gave you.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. The universities have now accepted other students in their place, but now the grades have been changed. The universities can't give you that offer anymore because it's been given to somebody else. And the university said, by law, we have to honour an offer once it's been given to someone. So a lot of people actually got or exceeded their university required grades, but because they got them too late, they're now their future's now been scuppered to a degree.
I mean, they fucked it.
Yeah.
They fucked it up completely.
My
Another
sister was
example of
lucky in the
government
respect
can't do
that she
anything.
was she didn't apply for a university position.
Right.
I think she's taking a gap year.
Right.
So she was lucky in that
Yeah.
her university placement wasn't scuppered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, it was.
I mean, I don't like even predicted grades isn't fair, right? Because in an exam situation, you could do worse.
You could do worse.
never.
You could do better.
You could do better.
And
I think
like
the only one I remember is maths because I think I was predicted B for maths.
Yeah.
But in an exam, because I did everything I knew, and then left certain questions blank. But then I had time, so I just tried them, and I got an A.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was doing past papers, I just did what I could and then didn't give a fuck about the rest
And then
of
for me,
it.
you've got the opposite end of the spectrum where I did an IT exam and I was really good at IT at GCSE. At A level, I didn't do as well, but that's because I didn't pass my time out correctly.
Yes.
Pass my time?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like a lot of what I say is like, yeah, that's kind of right.
Yeah. 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 The all bits of correct.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing okay. I think it was like a B or an A. That was sort of where I was at. But we had our IT exam immediately after an English exam. And it was after school as well. So we had after a 2.5 hour exam, we were straight into another 1.5 hour exam.
Yeah.
So because of fatigue, we all did worse.
There's so many factors, aren't there? Like at a certain point, you can't do each according to his ability.
No.
From each according to his ability to each according to his need.
And I've seen an argument saying like in terms of like being against predicted grades.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, teachers in particular, said like, why didn't you just use the predicted grades? Like we know what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've seen it said like the reason the exams might not want to go with the predicted grades because they're not impartial.
Sure.
Because like
You have a relationship with the student.
you have a relationship with that student, whether they're the teacher's pet or the class menace.
Yeah.
It's going to affect the grades.
Sometimes, yeah. If they're not good at their job, like because that shouldn't affect you.
No, it shouldn't affect your job.
But-
And I think genuinely, in a lot of instances, teachers would not be swayed by that.
No, I mean,
They'd understand this, like the importance of getting that grade
Right.
correct.
I don't think it affected my grade in any way, but I certainly took liberties in school that when in university I didn't have the goodwill generated. So they were like, you can't fuck off. Whereas in school, it's like, I didn't do it. I'm going to do it. Yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you're 7 years or whatever with these people. But I mean, one of the reasons I find it difficult to get outraged about this is because I think the whole thing is fucked anyway. I think it's way too easy to get into university, and I think It doesn't mean anything anyway.
No.
So what? You went to university. Everyone does now.
Yeah, I think like even I'm not talking about a Bachelor of Arts like we have.
Yeah.
I think masters, they're now the minimum like impressive degree.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's inflation.
Yeah.
There'll be PhDs soon.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, my mother's generation, my grandfather's generation, going to university was an incredibly prestigious.
Yeah, it was a luxury,
and privileged thing to do. Like, either you were rich and you could go, and then the government started introducing schemes for like working class people to go to Oxford and stuff. But you have to be really good, and now you don't. Every idiot we know who wanted to go to university went to university.
Yeah.
It's purely a financial thing, isn't it? You get more people in, you get more funding.
Yeah, exactly.
So I find it hard to get annoyed that kids always just like, I should have got C and I got a D or whatever. Like, you don't fucking belong in uni. I'm like really like elite about universities.
Yeah.
I think you should have to be really good to go.
And that's coming from a guy who did script writing at university.
Exactly, yeah. A guy who turned down going to a good university to go to a shit one. But I lament myself. I think you have to go to university. You should probably get. I suppose it depends on the nature of the university itself, but C's aren't good enough.
No.
I think B's and above to go to university.
Yeah, I think that's basically what my offer was. Something like that.
Was it BBC is our university.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was mine.
Oh, no, fuck it then. 2 A's and a B.
Okay.
To go to uni, you should have 2 A's and a B.
Yeah.
That seems like a reasonable...
That would have been me out then.
Yeah. Would have been you out,
Joel?
Yeah, it would have.
No, so I was
thinking... I would have been... I'd been fine.
No, I was thinking
of... star over here. Sorry,
I was thinking of GCSEs. Because GCSEs I did bad in.
Oh no, if it was GCSEs, I'd be alright.
But obviously I did a BTEC in acting.
Oh, right, okay.
So how do you work that one out then?
Well, it's barely a degree, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or it's barely a qualification,
a
BTEC in acting.
Yeah. I mean, an A-level is a BTEC with A-levels. I don't really know what a BTEC is, to be honest.
It's sort of like half a...
That sounds like such a...
Half a qualification,
middle class. What is a BTEC? A BTEC, Welsh baccalaureate, whatever that... Did you have an equivalent of that up in Old England?
What, Welsh?
We had something called the Welsh baccalaureate, which is like nothing really. You just... It's kind of a course you kind of do that's sort of... So, for example, I only did... You're supposed to like 6 modules or something. I did 1... and then didn't go to any of the lessons for a year. And then when they came to follow up on it, said, Sam, what have you been doing? Oh, I'm not going to do it. And I was avoiding this teacher for a year because he's going to fucking, be so annoyed. And they said, are you going to do it? And I said, no. He went, okay. And that was that. So I didn't do the Welsh baccalaureate. But it's like the first thing I did was, it's called individual investigation. So you have to come up with a hypothesis and then... So mine was, are people happier in America and someplace else?
Yeah.
And then you make up poll results.
Well, no, you're supposed to actually do the poll.
Yeah,
but everyone made up the results. Yeah.
And what I did, I had a questionnaire and like 30 people were supposed to do it or whatever. And the same person, in air quotes, was giving contradictory answers.
Oh, right.
So, because I wasn't taking the time to like make it make sense, I wrote in my analysis, clearly people weren't taking it seriously because they were contradictory. And they said, oh, that's university level analysis.
Fucking hell. Fuck me.
So, but yeah, stuff like that. And then I can't even remember, working with others. Yeah, we had to come up with a little company and sell stuff at Christmas.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think that was Welsh back.
Oh, okay.
So we came up with a company called Going Snowwhere.
Yeah.
Nice.
We sold baubles, right?
Just baubles and candy canes.
Yeah. Which we bought from like Poundland.
Yeah.
We sell them for $1.50.
Yeah. So did you have an equivalent, anything like that?
Nothing springs to mind.
No.
But yeah, no, not that I can think of.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one took it seriously. I think even, like universities are supposed to... I think the idea of Welsh back is if you don't get your predicted grades... You can use Welsh back as a substitute for one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was BBC or BB Welsh back.
Yeah.
But I didn't do Welsh back. And I don't think any of my courses that I applied for gave me a Welsh back alternative.
Right.
So it would have been pointless anyway, you know?
Yeah.
fucking stupid. But yeah, like it's sort of it's interesting for me in this instance. Like I wasn't personally affected by the grade kerfuffle, but my sister was.
Yeah.
So to see that it's not, she was pulled to a protest, bless her, because my aunt is very much, she'll go to a protest. She'll, she's one of those people.
Oh dear.
So she pulled her along to the protest in Cardiff Bay. She didn't want to go. My sister just she just thought it. But it was a blessing actually, because my aunt and her son, my cousin, they were sitting on the steps outside the Senedd, the government building in Cardiff Bay.
Yeah.
And my sister was sitting next to them, and as the newspaper, because this ended up in a Wales Online article where a picture was taken of them. But as the photo was taken, somebody walked across the camera, completely blocking my sister from view.
Nice.
So she is... I know, I've just given it away now that she's actually in that photo.
Yeah.
But she was blocked from... So we showed her the photo and she was like, oh, bless that woman.
Yeah.
For obscuring me from the cameras.
I don't think I could ever go to a protest.
Yeah.
I don't have that in me.
It didn't really seem to be... From what I understand... Well, then again, I saw this was different, but I saw a protest in... Butte Park in Cardiff. Someone was running for like local office, and they were in the park, and there was a large crowd. It was basically just like people.
So it wasn't a protest; it was a rally.
I guess. Yeah. It was basically just like people sitting on the grass, and then someone would stand in front of them with a microphone shouting platitudes.
Sure.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, there you go. Yay! I got one right.
Yeah.
Shouting platitudes, and they would go, yeah. And it sounds like that's what this protest was.
Yeah.
No one from the government building came out.
Yeah.
It was just people from the protest being like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah.
And everyone went, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the protest, basically.
The only thing I saw about it was on Twitter, people were saying, like, when ABBA becomes AC/DC. That's what I can.
Oh, right. It's okay. All right.
Yeah, what ABBA looked like with the grade.
With the grade thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, something has been done about it now.
Yeah.
I do wonder how many... Because those 40%, that 40%... has now benefited from this decision, which maybe those grades were an accurate reflection and they deserve to be treated the way that they've been treated. That they've now had their grades pushed up again.
Yes.
I wonder how many people have had their grades pushed down because they've now gone with their predicted grades.
Oh, that's true.
The poor sods who've suffered because of this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you won't hear about them.
No, you won't hear about them. Oh, it was fine because we were watching the news because when my sister initially got the grades, we were just in out of confusion. We didn't even think we had the right grades.
Right.
So we were watching the news to see what they were saying. It was so funny. They always seem to find someone to open their results on air who'd never seen their results before, but they always had like all distinctions or all A's. And then when it came to the people who didn't do well, they were like, so such and such, you've already opened your results.
Yes.
What do you think?
You've had time to cry.
Yeah, you've had time to cry. What do you think about the decision?
You want to see that someone go like, yeah, if I get this, I go to Oxford.
Yeah.
I just like scream. It's like,
I got 3 U's. I didn't even do that exam.
Now I'm going to Hull.
Now I'm going
to Oxford, Brox. So, yeah.
Now I'm going to University South Wales.
Yeah.
It was funny as well because the news were like, 30%, like the amount of people who've got A stars to A's, it's risen by 12% this year.
Right.
Let's hear your tweets. And every tweet was like, this is a fucking disgrace. What the fuck is going on? Basically.
But they say that, right? Every year, apparently, grades get better.
Yeah.
Is there the possibility that it just gets easier?
There is that possibility.
Yes.
I think that's what it is.
Obviously, because we're catering to the stupidest people.
Yeah, I think that's genuinely what it is. People aren't getting smarter. The exams are getting easier.
Yeah, our boundaries are getting lower.
Yeah.
I read The Great Gatsby again.
Oh, okay.
Which we read in school.
Yes.
Well, did you read it in school?
Oh, tangent. Not
Oh,
tangent,
there you go.
segue.
Sure. Unintentional segue.
Yeah.
No, intentional segue.
Intentional segue. Oh, yeah, intentional segue.
Intentional segue.
No, I didn't read it. I didn't need to. I got a B.
Did we read that one in class? We did, didn't we? We read The Great Gatsby in class. Yeah, because our teacher cried at the end of it. And, because I vividly remember him tearing up and people sniggering and me thinking, fuck you.
Yeah.
You fucking teenagers.
I think you've expressed your
Have I?
disdain for that moment as well before on the
it's
podcast.
like, what's wrong with? I hate teenagers. I hate them. But yeah, I read it again, and obviously it's a chore in school when you read these things, and I don't remember particularly enjoying it. It just shows how much things changed between then and like.
I remember we had to read, or we were told that we had to read To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes, I'm reading that now.
Okay, before we came back from the summer break, I think it was, and I hadn't done it.
We read that in class as well, didn't we?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like we were told that we had to read it.
We had to read Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, we had to read Wuthering Heights, which I didn't.
No.
But again, I didn't need to.
No.
But yeah, so I had to read basically over the space of 4 days, I think. I had to read, or I read To Kill a Mockingbird. And the courtroom scene.
Yeah.
It's like one of the very few instances that I remember like being enthralled by a book. Like I was genuinely like, oh, I'm enjoying this.
Okay.
Like I'm genuinely enjoying this. And then when we went back to school, the teacher was like, right, so none of you read the book.
Yeah.
So we're just going to read the book in class. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least I enjoyed the courtroom scene, you know?
Yeah. No, To Kill a Mockingbird is good. It feels like a good gateway to literature. It is literature, obviously, but a good gateway to more adult.
Yeah,
you can read it when you're a teenager.
Yeah, I can understand, you know, like why they teach that in schools.
Yeah.
It feels like a grown up, like an adult novel.
Yeah,
as it were.
Yeah, well, obviously it is, but it's written. It's not a children's book, but it's kind of written.
Well, it's written
very
from a
accessibly. Yes, well, from an adult's perspective on her childhood.
Yes.
That's one of the funny things about the book, right? Is that it's kind of explaining childish thought processes with an adult frame of mind.
Yes.
But have you ever read To Kill a Mockingbird? No. What did you have to read in school?
I can't remember most of it, but we had Heroes by Robert Cormier.
Okay, no, we didn't do that.
And I remember that.
What set were you in?
Between 2 and 3.
Okay, all right. What did we do? We did Wuthering Heights, King Lear.
Yes.
To Kill a Mockingbird, Great Gatsby. Yeah, but I'm reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and obviously it's set in the racist South. The principal characters aren't racist. But the N word has first occurred in the book. She said, Scout says, that's nigger talk, right? I was like, oh yeah, we read this, and like that was read aloud by our teacher in school.
Yeah, were we like encouraged to, not encouraged, but like don't feel like you have to not say the word.
I really don't, that was never like, there's going to be racial language in this book. Yeah, and again, thinking, do they still do that in schools? Do they still read To Kill a Mockingbird?
Were we reading... I mean, I don't know if you were aware of it at the time that we read it, but like at the age that we were reading that book, was it sort of not acceptable, but like, would you accept that? Oh, we didn't really know about.
Well, you're being challenged, aren't you? You're at an age where you should start to understand what that means.
Yeah,
15, 16 To Kill a Mockingbird.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if like. Students of that age, or at least the students that we were with at that age, had a grasp on.
I think
like the severity of that word, and you know.
I think you did. I think like you always knew that was. It's just not a word you say, and you knew what it meant. You knew it was a derogatory term for a black person.
Yeah, you knew that it was.
You didn't know about the legacy of it.
But you knew that like, okay, this is a bad word.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think many people know more than that now about it, other than it's a historically derogatory term for it. No one really knows where it came from, or you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read it. Was like, oh yeah, shit. Like our teacher read that out to us in a southern accent, a bad one.
Oh well, yes.
Jane Louise, she used to really like that, didn't she? Remember?
Yeah. She was from West Wales.
Yeah.
Who have notoriously thick accents, but she'd lost it. She had like
she was posh.
She had an affected posh accent. No, it wasn't affected.
No, it wasn't affected. It wasn't posh. It was just kind of crisp English.
Even though she was from West Wales.
Yeah.
And she was doing this pathetic southern accent.
Jim, what are you doing out on yonder? Yeah, it was bad.
Her method just seemed to speak louder.
Pretty much.
That's how she did the southern accent, speak louder.
But yes, I was intrigued to find out if we have any students listening. Are you still taught To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah.
Well, what would they be taught otherwise? Like, what's some like modern book that?
I don't know what would be on the curriculum.
Well, I don't think we didn't do that because it was about that theme. It's from a literary perspective, isn't it? So any book that's relatively accessible to a 15 or 16-year-old. Catcher in the Rye, maybe?
Again, it might be worth asking
Twilight.
my sister, actually. It's fucking Twilight taught in schools.
Yeah, did she do English A-level?
Yeah, she did. Well, I don't know if she did the A-level.
Yeah,
no, she didn't do the A-level, but obviously she did English up until that point. But she's never asked for any of my books. And
Right.
obviously,
Yeah.
I went through all of that, so I still have all of the books.
Yeah.
Or most of the books, anyway.
Was she in set 1 for English?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they it's different based on set as well.
Yeah,
isn't it?
like Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, we did do that.
Yeah, that's a book that like the lower
Yes.
students read.
Which is weird because it's not like a it's not
it's
a
not a
lower
stupid book. Yeah.
It's a good book.
Haven't read that either.
No.
No.
But so I read The Great Gatsby, and that summer, and all of a sudden music became a thing, and a live thing.
Yes, yeah. You're talking about us personally now.
Yeah, us personally. Summer of 2016, where we always liked music, but all of a sudden music meant something more.
Yeah.
That's happened with books now. After reading Stoner, I am able to have emotional responses to books that I never had before.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I cry at books now.
You've made it. I made
it.
You can go back to that teacher
Yep.
who cried at the end of Great by
get
Gatsby. It's like, I get you.
Yep.
I see you now.
I got to the end of that book and I cried.
Okay.
Because it is tragic.
Okay.
It's tragic. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy that's happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I thought, again, I think I said this in a previous podcast, I thought books were a thing lost to me.
Yeah.
I read them as like, I suppose you have to read this book. But no, I feel now when I read.
Oh, okay.
And I read it in a day. I read The Great Gatsby in a day.
Okay. Is that impressive?
No, I mean, it's not a massive book, but just, it's like...
Still, that's...
Yeah, it's a novel, it's not a short book. I started reading, I'll read a bit before I go to bed, at like midnight. And then I looked at the clock and it was 5 o'clock.
Right.
And I didn't realise that I thought like an hour had passed. I recommend books that you might have read in school that made you hate them. You should go back because it's not like they're ruined forever.
Well, that's the thing with Shakespeare, isn't it? No one likes Shakespeare in school. It's the people who come back to him later in life.
Yeah.
Like yourself, Eddie. You're a fan of Shakespeare now, aren't you?
Just not Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, that's been done to death, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Great Gatsby. I recommend it.
I'm not going to read books, Sam.
No, I know.
If this is part of your
I know.
mission,
my
cease.
horrible mission.
Your insidious
you
mission
reading.
to get me to be cultured.
Yeah.
Well,
Read one. Just read To Kill a Mockingbird again. You liked it the first time.
Well, I like the courtroom scene.
You didn't like any of the rest of it.
Well, I don't know.
You didn't like Boo Radley.
Which one's Boo Radley?
Which one's Boo Radley?
he definitely didn't read it.
Which one's Boo Radley?
The guy, the hermit who lives in the house that they're all scared of.
Is he the... No, he's not the one who's on trial, right?
He's the one that saves him at the end.
Right. Oh, yeah, the simple one.
Yeah, the metaphor for race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't judge someone until you've walked around in their skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. The neighbour's name from Home Alone.
Yeah, what is his name?
Mr. Henderson? Or Mr.
No,
Henderson?
it's not Henderson. Eddie, can you find out for us, please?
What am I looking at?
The
Old
name-
man something, isn't it?
Yeah, the name of the neighbour in Home Alone.
Yeah.
The first Home Alone.
Old Man Withers? No, it's not.
It's always Old Man Withers.
Oh, Marley. Is it Old Man Marley?
Is it Bob Marley?
It's not Bob. It might be Robert.
Robert Marley.
Robert Marley.
Here, Kevin.
Old
What you
man,
doing outside that house?
Old man Marley.
Old Man Marley.
Old Man Marley.
I think just asking Eddie is the thing that you're going to remember. If you ask Eddie, you know you're about to remember what it is.
Right.
Because every time, isn't it? Eddie, can you Google that? Oh, it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that your brain like, I don't want Eddie to take credit for
Maybe
knowing
it
this
is.
thing?
Maybe it is. My ego makes me remember. WAP.
Okay.
So WAP, I've been seeing the word WAP floating around on social media. I didn't really know what it was. I inferred that it was music related, and then the Cardi B's name was thrown into it. And there seemed to be a debate, and I couldn't really put my finger on what it was, but the nub of it seemed to be feminists versus not.
Okay.
Or that it was empowering. No, it's not. That was the thing. But obviously, I was only really seeing the side of it that was promoting how empowering it was.
Yeah.
People sharing, what would you call them? Not memes, but like when people share blocks of text on Instagram. What would you call that? Just a post?
Yeah.
People sharing posts that were saying, "Oh, men hate women when they're successful. Men hate women when they're unsuccessful. What can we gather from this? Men just hate women." Stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to look into this.
Okay.
WAP is a song by Cardi B and...
Megan the Stallion.
Yeah, Megan the Thee.
Right.
So she's my stallion. Or your stallion. Yeah.
Is that what the is?
Your, yeah, or you.
Okay.
So WAP stands for Wet Ass Pussy. It's a new single.
You can buy it on iTunes now.
Buy it on iTunes now. Yeah, and it's a song.
Is it?
Well,
Officially, yeah.
Yeah.
And they just kind of sing about sex.
Wet ass pussies.
They're wet ass pussies.
Oh, they're wet ass pussies.
They're wet ass pussies.
They don't want wet ass pussy.
No, they want their pussy to be wet ass.
Okay.
And kind of saying, put your dick in me, bitch, all that stuff.
Right.
With not much more flair than that, to be honest.
No.
But that's the crux of it.
Okay.
It's just like, yeah, sex, yeah. And it's all sexy, and except it's not. It's incredibly ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, the thing seems to be, the shibboleth is that it's a feminist statement. It's empowering to women. Now, I've recently entered a dialogue with someone who's quite left-wing.
Okay.
Who I'm going to call Lenny.
Because...
Lenin.
Okay.
As in Vladimir Lenin. So I'm gonna refer to this person as Lenny. Lenny and I have been chatting, and he said something interesting, which was, it might be empowering, but it's not feminist. So I was wondering because nowadays they're one and the same, right? Feminist and empowering. They seem to be. Okay. There's no distinction. That is what feminism is now. It's the empowerment of women.
Okay.
Which it kind of always was, right? But I thought feminism was about the de-objectification of women.
Yes.
Not the objectification of them. I am just amazed.
But I suppose it's self-objectification.
Yeah, they're not being objectified by men.
Well,
they're objectifying themselves.
They're sexualizing themselves.
Yes.
Does that fundamentally change anything? A whore, you're just a whore.
It changes who does it, right? It changes who's responsible.
Well, this is an interesting thing that he pointed out. There are 5 writers of this. 5 people wrote this song.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's not a symphony. It's just a guy going, there's some whores in this house. And then they just go, my wet ass pussy. Stick your dick in my wet ass pussy. That's the song.
Genuinely, between us, I reckon we could come up with a song. We'll call it BDE.
Meaning
big dick energy.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we'll do that. Just us.
Yes.
Guarantee you get hit.
Probably. But we won't do that, will we? Because we're not. We've said before in previous podcasts, we want to cater to the better impulses of our listenership. But yeah, so 5 people wrote this song. 3 of them are men.
Okay.
2 of them are the artists. Artists. How did music monopolize that word?
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, it's certainly not applied here.
Yes.
The people who do the thing. 2 of them are women. And then the director of the video is a man and the producer's a man, whatever. So that was part of his thing, that's why it's not feminist, because it caters to the male gaze, which is one of those buzz terms.
Yes.
And then he floated a hypothetical that was, what if, we'll just use this as an example. You wrote a play, you produced it, Eddie, and I directed it, about strippers. Would that be feminist? And I said, well, surely it depends on what the nature of the thing is. Does it have to be women as the creative forces to be feminist? What if we wrote a play about strippers that was like empowering to women, but also pointed out it was about the objectification of women, right? It was a feminist tract, but it was produced by men. Does that mean it can't be feminist? Because I thought male feminist was a thing.
It is.
So that's an interesting thing to ponder.
Okay.
Yeah, Eddie, I assumed you would know about this because you're like our authority on vapid pop culture.
Yes.
You know what the kids are saying.
Well, I say sadly, the fact of the matter is that...
You're a vapid kid yourself, aren't you? We always knew.
Yes. No, I've been, because of like work and stuff.
Yeah, you've been out the loop.
I'm completely out. Yeah. I go home and watch like a podcast or a 10-minute YouTube video and I'm gone.
Yeah.
Well, before we did this, I showed you the video, Eddie, and you saw half of it, George.
I saw enough.
You saw enough.
Yeah.
Do you remember when... So the opening refrain of that song is, there are whores in this house. Remember when whore was an insult?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being called a whore was something insulting. Not like you don't own that, you know?
Now it's something that someone wants to get called in the bedroom.
Yeah. Let's just caveat, as usual, we're all in agreement, right, that people should be free to behave however they want.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't impinge on the rights of other people.
Yes.
that was cushioned for the mansplaining that's about to happen.
Oh dear. At first he admits there's a patriarchy, and then he reinforces the myth of mansplaining.
Because if women think this is empowering,
Mansplaining 101.
if women think this is empowering, they need a man to figuratively give them a slap and tell them how it is. Maybe
I'm just wondering, like, how long how long we got left.
Well, there's 10 minutes on the script, so...
Maybe this is an expression.
Where on the doomsday clock are we? Are we like 5 minutes to midnight? Is that where we're at now?
I think we're in the seconds, right? The seconds left. Maybe this is an expression of some form of feminism, but it's that kind of third or fourth wave, however you define it. Ugly, vulgar, profane. It's that school of feminism. This is what feminists used to rally against.
Well, the question is, do they still rally against it? And this is just...
The sensible ones,
This is just corporate marketing trying to tell us what we think.
I don't think corporate... I mean...
Because music, this is no doubt an incredibly corporate song. This was not like, a couple of indie artists that have broken through.
Yeah, they're big names.
They're big names now.
This is big names who are under a big label releasing a big song.
Yes.
So there's a lot of marketing behind this.
They've chosen Cardi B. Cardi B's one thing is she used to be a stripper.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's a thing.
Colour me surprised.
Yeah.
I'm going to read you some of the lyrics to WAP, and maybe we should be speaking to a woman about this, because I would genuinely be intrigued to know how they justify this.
Okay. Or if they even like it.
I know some that do.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't imagine I don't know. I was going to say I can't imagine there are many women who would like this.
No, I think there are.
It's a big hit.
I don't think this is like a...
songs like this always are. There are always inexplicably people that like music like this, and yet you never see them. They never seem to exist anywhere.
No, they do. This is who we're hearing from.
Okay.
Like, I don't think...
we hear from them.
Yeah.
We never see them, though.
Well, we know one. At least one.
Yeah.
We know one personally.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
She thinks it's empowering. So here are some of the lyrics. Yeah, you fucking with some wet-ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass pussy. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass pussy. What's empowering about it? I really want to know what's empowering about it. Is it just owning your sexuality?
Women being vulgar, right?
Yes.
That's what empowerment is now.
What I want to know, one of the questions I want answered is it meant to be defiant of men, or is it catering to men?
Is it a case of the way men used to treat us?
Yeah.
We're now doing that.
Right.
So men can't treat us like that anymore because we're doing it. So there's no...
Men have played the greatest trick of all time. Men have convinced women that this is empowering.
Well, not necessarily that it's empowering. It's that, I'm by doing this behavior, I'm showing you that this behavior doesn't hurt me.
Okay.
Or it doesn't damage us. So there's no point in you doing that behavior anymore because we've taken that away from you.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
This is just a theory. I'm not saying that this is... I'm wondering... That's my sort of rough hypothesis.
Yeah, I think it's just because in a lot of male rappers' lyrics, there's a lot of stuff about suck my dick, bitch. You a sex object. There's a lot of that.
I got a Lamborghini in which you suck my dick.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't think that's it in which, but yeah, I take your point.
Inside of that Lamborghini.
Inside my Lambo, you suck my bell. Yeah. Ring my bell, suck my bell, Belle-end. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of this stuff, this profane stuff, is like, fuck you, man. Mm-mm. But you're singing about us fucking... I don't really know what... You're sexing it up. So it's supposed to appeal sexually to men. Yeah. Even though, Eddie, you are my prime example of this.
Yeah, I was not aroused in the slightest.
And you're an ass man.
And I'm an ass guy.
Yeah.
It's
not attractive.
Well, there's there's just something about that very fake look, like those long acrylic nails and like those long eyelashes and like the the neon colored hair.
It's monstrous.
I've never been a fan of that.
No, but are we the exceptions? Do men find that hot?
I don't know, maybe
because they can't. Right?
Again, I've never met a man. Well, I won't say I've never met a man, but I've never known a man like as a friend or anything like that, who seems to like that kind of stuff.
Well, you just think, like, pop music, noughties on or 90s onwards, women have been sexualized, right? And, you go back to videos from the early noughties. Yes, like, there are arousing music videos of women. Like, it's not like any sexualization is just unattractive because of its coarseness.
Yeah.
I have been aroused by music videos.
Yeah.
But this...
Shakira, right?
Shakira, yeah. That birthed my sexuality.
Yeah.
This stuff, where it's uber, like, there's no mystery to it.
No.
I think that's the key thing.
How long ago was Anaconda, Nicki Minaj?
2012, something like that, was it?
I thought it was late.
It probably is.
Because that's another one where there's just no subtlety.
Yeah.
And it's very clear what it's promoting and what it's
There's no subtext.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Because I think what's attractive, right? I think what most men find attractive is mystery and restraint. Not like burqa fucking restraint.
No.
But leaving some things to the imagination.
Yeah.
2014.
2014, okay. Yeah, but just like seeing a girl going, ooh, who are you?
Yeah. I'd like to unpack that enigma.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what's attractive. And I don't think just to, the fucking emo us here. I think most men think that's what's... A woman just prostrating herself, with her fucking vag out.
Yeah.
Is not hot.
Well, it's like, I mean...
As we said, you could never fall in love with a porn star.
Yeah. But no, I think that's more... I'm thinking more in terms of, like, being in a relationship with someone. If you're just out on the pull, like, if you just want to get laid, then you probably would lean more towards someone who's, like, conducting themselves in that manner.
Right.
But if it's a person that, like, I want to, like, spend time with this person, I want to be in a relationship with this person, then yeah, I think the enigma is a more attractive route.
Yes.
Because you don't just want someone who's, like, good in bed and who's you want someone that you can, like...
solve.
Yeah, and someone that you can, like, be in the company of for long periods of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you'll always know who's out for a one-night stand on a night out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not being a prude here. Like, it's not women enjoying sex doesn't, like, intimidate me. That's all good. That's all cool. Yeah. I'm not maintaining a double standard. I don't like it when men sing or rap shit like this either. It's unappealing. You think these people are all about power, empowerment, power. People defending this video, young women, the media, and that most insipid creature, the modern male feminist. If they're being ideologically consistent, they have to also support male rappers saying, suck my dick, bitch.
Yeah.
But they're not going to, are they?
No. Well, they don't have to, because it's double standards, right?
Because it's power. It's all about power.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So that's hypocrisy.
Yeah, but that's okay, because men.
Because men have all the power.
Yeah.
I would say if this song makes you feel empowered, you should maybe not be seeking power. Maybe you should be seeking dignity. Maybe you're looking for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't want to make this a left-right thing, okay? Because it's cultural, but it's there. Conservatives aren't singing the praises of this song, right?
No.
Let's put it that way. It's just amazing to me how the left has 180'd on so many things that they valued. Like, it's literally the opposite of what they once believed.
How much of it, genuinely now though, how much of it is the left and how much of it is the marketing of this? Like, is empowerment just one of those buzzwords that they've carelessly thrown into the ether? Because, like, buzzword is a thing that, not buzzword. Empowerment is the thing people like. Let's just say the song is empowering and people will believe it.
Oh, yeah.
And some people have.
There's definitely a cynicism to it, but I also don't doubt that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion believe this is empowering.
Well, Cardi B can't even speak properly, right?
Oh, she has her own fucking...
Is she the one who makes horse noises and shit? Yeah.
But it's, like, literally the opposite. It's literally the opposite of what they once believed.
Yeah.
All this stuff. I think it's because they're not capable of creating boundaries. That's part of it. Conservatives, by definition, there are things we believe and that's not changing.
Yeah.
Here's because I remembered this word, having read The Great Gatsby. They're ideological flippity gibbets.
Nice.
Do you want to unpack flippity gibbet?
I think flippity gibbet is like a term commonly applied to, like, flappers in the 20s, where they were, like, all over the place, like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Oh, like,
right. Okay.
Flimsy women, basically.
Okay.
They are the ideological equivalent of that.
Right.
They have no moorings and they suck.
Nice.
I genuinely can't believe I ever identified as one of these people. I can't believe it. They are. I was thinking of that scene in American Beauty where the paper bag is floating.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I'm like, I love that film and I love that moment. But it's like, what's really beautiful? The building that's floating outside of. the building that will stand there.
Do you know what's actually beautiful? America.
Listen, it might be the building might be brutalist and concrete, but it's firm.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not moving with the winds of change.
Yeah.
And I hate this, and I hate these people. And they suck.
The company that built that building. That's beautiful.
Exactly.
Capitalism is beautiful.
Yeah, and so I've read a couple of articles since seeing this, and they're using all the words, all the
well, you got
words.
You got to use all the words.
All the words. A new word that I discovered that I quite like: misogynoir.
Ooh.
So black women. That's oppression towards black women.
See, is that offensive?
Misogynoir.
No, well, noir, the noir components.
I don't know.
Because
Soon, I'm
noir,
sure. Yeah, they were capitalizing black in all these articles and stuff. But one of the things that they were pointing out was, why do we never complain when men do this? Like, the history of popular music, it's littered with references to sex and drugs and stuff like that. And they give a few examples, the Beatles and Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to read you... So I googled Pearl Jam sex lyrics.
Okay.
And there aren't any, really. So I'm just going to read you their reference to sex in the song Alive, and then some stuff from Wet Ass Pussy.
Okay.
So this is a verse from Alive. While she walked slowly across a young man's room, she said, "I'm ready for you. Why, I can't remember anything to this very day, except the look. The look.
Fuck my pussy.
Beat it up, nigga. Catch a charge, extra large and extra hard. Put this pussy right in your face, swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I want to ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This pussy is wet, come take a dive." Is it the same thing, guys? Is it the same thing?
No.
I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand.
You can't say that.
I don't cook.
You're
I don't
filthy,
clean.
filthy Beatles.
Gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me. Yeah. Quick, jump out for you, let you get inside of me. Yeah. Fuck these people. We were trying to look up old songs that were sexually, kind of explicit about sex. And aside from rappers, male rappers, who are misogynists, like we would all agree, that stuff is misogyny is rife in rap music. We look like AC/DC, You Shook Me All Night Long, which is a song about sex, right? Yeah. All of these examples that we found, the women, they weren't exactly serenaded as, independent thinkers.
No.
But none of them were like, yeah, you're just that. Like, all these songs are men saying how, like...
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, you're like a treasure that I want to possess.
Yeah, like, she shook me all night long, I had to take a breath, and she was like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
The women are empowered in a weird way in these songs. In this shit, the men aren't. The men are just penises attached to, bodies.
Yeah.
So it's actually not even like they're like, oh, we'll do it for a bit.
Yeah, it's not even an equivalent. I know what you're saying. It's not even an equivalent thing.
So, yeah. WAP. Fuck off.
It's fucking WAP.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Should we bring up at least one film, or are we sort of past that point?
Oh, we could do. Why not?
Okay.
A little coda.
Okay. I watched Project Power.
Okay.
I think that's a film that's doing incredibly well on Netflix.
Is it?
I think it was like #1 over the weekend or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Stars Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Dominique something.
Okay.
I don't remember her name. Oh, because she's it's because she's new. All right.
Dominique, is she white?
No, she's black.
Oh, so multiple misogynoir.
You misogynoir. What's his name? Mraz.
Jason Mraz?
No. The Muslim who went on hunger strike.
Oh, Majid Nawaz.
Majid Nawaz. You Majid Nawaz.
Thank you. Take that as high praise.
Yeah, look up her name, Eddie, because I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Netflix seems...
Dominique Fishback? That's a person. I didn't make that up.
No. I'm wondering if that's genuinely it, actually.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a really horrible, offensive thing. Doesn't
fucking Fishback. I'm going to use that.
Yeah. It's like wetback, isn't it? That's why.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, maybe I shouldn't then.
Fishback. Yeah. Well, no, because that wetback obviously comes from, I guess, swimming across the board, swimming to America sort of thing.
Does it?
I guess so.
Oh, okay.
Wetback.
Interesting.
Or
okay.
I could be wrong, but that feels right.
There's no water across the border to swim across, right?
I don't know. I assume that...
It's a dry border.
Can you Google why Mexicans are called wetbacks? This one I don't know.
Okay.
Wetbacks. Because they're greasy?
No, I thought it was like sweat because it's like really hot in Mexico.
Yeah, maybe it's that. Because they're labourers as well.
Yeah, so they've got like their shirts off and they're working.
Yeah,
so
maybe it's that.
Wetbacks. Maybe.
Term originally coined and applied only to Mexicans who entered the U.S. state of Texas from Mexico by crossing the Rio Grande River.
Oh, there is a river. Okay,
Yeah,
my
the
mistake.
Rio Grande River. Okay, so yeah, because they swam across the border.
Okay.
Fishback implies that they died swimming because they'd have to be
Sleeping with the
submerged.
fishes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh, interesting. Anyway, yeah, Dominique Fishback.
Yeah.
Not Jason Oliver. What's he called? Jamie Foxx.
Who's Jason Oliver?
I don't know. There's Jamie Oliver,
Yeah.
the chef.
There's John Oliver.
John Oliver. Jason Momoa. There's no Jason Oliver.
No, there's not.
No.
Anyway, it's those three people. Netflix seemed to have this. I brought up when I was talking about Becky. There's like this weird subgenre of. I can't remember what I called it, or even if I gave it a name. But there's like thrillers where like the family are in this secluded location, but there's like a single family member who is not being captured by the bad guys, and they basically have to.
It's like Die Hard.
Yeah, they have to
Yeah.
liberate the family from
Yeah.
this. You know,
Did we come up with something for that?
I don't think we did. I know it came up with crisis thriller for
Crisis thriller, yeah.
like Greyhound, not
Yeah.
Greyhound. Yeah, Greyhound.
Yeah, Greyhound.
Yeah. Where it's like, you know, it's just one scenario playing
Spiraling.
out. Yeah.
Claustra thriller?
Yeah, if you want.
Let's go with that.
Like that's something that seems to be
Yeah.
everywhere on Netflix.
Yeah.
Project Power seems to be another one where it's like an urban crime drama with superpowers in it.
Okay.
Superheroes in it. So Project Power is basically, do you know anything about it, either of you?
No.
Okay. There's this drug called Power. It's just a pill. And if you eat the pill, then you'll be momentarily granted superpowers
Okay.
based on your biology, I think.
Like a bit like Limitless then.
A little bit. Like the powers are extracted from certain animals. So like you'll get the power from so for example, there's like someone who can no.
It's just the power to speak ghost. Like,
That's the excuse they give later in the film. They're like, oh, we've extracted traits from animals because there are certain things animals can do the humans can't.
Okay.
So there's something called a Wolverine frog which can apparently crack its own bones and use them as like blades.
Okay.
So that's something that someone does later in the
Why would
film.
you want that power?
I don't know. It sounds incredibly painful.
Eagle power, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
But then they have powers like somebody, like the first power you see in the film is somebody catching fire. And then there's another power
What
where
animal catches on fire?
I don't know. There's another one where someone like turns into ice.
What animal turns into ice?
I don't know.
Okay.
So this animal bullshit
so
is
this is Fantastic Four done differently.
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. So basically, these pills, the power pills, is that what the Pac-Man thing, right? Are they called power pills?
Power pellets.
Power pellets. I'll call them pellets then for the
Yeah.
fuck of it.
Alright.
These power pellets get scattered across New Orleans for free. Like the guy is just like, oh, here you go,
Everyone loves
drug
free
dealer.
drugs.
Yeah,
Free-
here you go.
I
drug-
love that. Like in your thing of the film, there was like a socialist critique in there of everything. Like they're scattered for free.
It wasn't meant to be that.
Okay, alright.
I was merely expressing a detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gathers all of the drug dealers in the city and he's like, here are these pills that give people superpowers. Just go sell them. I don't care.
Right.
Later, you find out that I think it's like a government thing. They're like using the pills as like a they're using New Orleans as a testing ground for the superpowers. Narlands, yeah.
Oh, is that like a Hurricane Katrina thing? Is it? Is there some allegory about Hurricane Katrina?
No.
How the people in New Orleans were fucked
No.
by the government.
Do you know what? Actually, there's not a single person with water powers. That was a missed opportunity.
They've got fish back in the film. Give us some fucking gills.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity. Setting something in New Orleans and having like a hurricane power or a water power.
Probably, yeah. Tread.
I know it's a bit of a but you know, come on now.
Yeah.
But no, so
The
like
power of jazz.
so
Jazz.
Oh God, we hate this guy.
so Dominique Fishback is I think she's a drug dealer. Yeah, she's a drug dealer. She peddles the pills, but she never takes them.
She's a pallet peddler.
She's a pallet
peddler.
Pellet peddler.
Yeah.
Power pellet peddler.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sells the pills, but she knows Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's a police officer who uses these pills. He becomes bulletproof when he takes them.
Okay.
And then Jamie...
Useful superpower, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking bulletproof.
Of course, the policeman gets the bulletproof one.
Yeah. Didn't give that one to the blacks, did they?
No. Well, Jamie Foxx then shows up in the film. He's trying to track down the source of power.
Yeah.
Is he a fox?
He's not a fox, no.
Another missed opportunity. We got fish and fox in the film,
Yeah,
and their powers aren't related at all.
Well, what power would you have if you extracted power from a fox? What power would you extract?
You just go, your bird,
You probably would, yeah.
You go for the high scream just to piss people.
Yeah, like a sonic blast that would just deafen people.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe, okay. But he's trying to track down the source of power. I think they do. There's like a half-assed attempt to make him seem like he's the bad guy,
Right.
but he's not.
Okay.
It turns out that he was one of the original people that they experimented on with power, and he had a daughter who inherited superhero abilities without having to take the pills. Mm-hmm. I think that's the whole point. They want.
Right.
Where's Kanye West from? Is it New Orleans?
Well, it was New York.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Maybe
New
it's
York.
because he said that thing about Bush, didn't he? When it was an appeal for Hurricane Katrina, and he said George Bush doesn't care about black people, very famously on television.
Oh, right, okay.
He was born in Atlanta and raised in Chicago.
Atlanta, yeah, okay, that's Georgia. New Orleans is Louisiana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, no, because I was just thinking that the song we were talking about earlier, "No One Man Should
Have All That
Is that
Power.
used in the film?
No, it's not.
Who are these writers?
That's bad.
Because it's obviously a B movie.
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah, so Jamie Foxx had a daughter who has superpowers just inherently. And I think that's the idea. They want to flood New Orleans with these drugs so that the next generation have superpowers without needing to take the pills.
Why are they doing this?
Because governments greedy and want power.
But they'll inherit it genetically. So it's not like this to sell it.
No, there's a scene like
we want to empower the underclass to rise up against us.
There's like a scene where like a woman, they go to like a meeting and she's this guy's pitching these pills to this woman and she's like, I will buy 1 million cases.
She's German.
She's something like that.
Okay.
She's something foreign.
You said yourself well, Jordan.
So yeah, Jamie Foxx's daughter has been kidnapped, so he's trying to find her and sort the source of power by extension. So he teams up with Lawrence Fishback. What's her name?
Dominique Fishback.
Dominique Fishback.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishback.
Who's a wannabe rapper.
Okay.
And a drug dealer.
Yeah, but she's a wannabe rapper.
Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, Sam.
No, wasn't a black thing. That was a... Are we denying there's an overlap between drug dealing and rapping?
If it saves this podcast, then yes.
Okay.
You can't save this now.
Okay.
There aren't many clean rappers, are there? I think what's the guy do? Dun dun dun. Anderson .Paak. As far as I understand, he's like... Yeah.
No, I'm supposed to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that he married a woman when he was like 18 or something. They're still married. Like he's one of the few where they haven't been done for like gun possession or something.
Good on him.
Good on him.
Yeah.
It's not an Eminem and Kim situation.
No.
What were we talking about? The film.
Power.
The film.
Project Power. Yeah, so they go, they team up to go and hunt down the power.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Phil Taylor.
What?
Go on.
I can't keep up with
There's just
whatever
like,
you're throwing
I love
at me.
a film where...
This could be comedy gold, Sam. I'm
It's not
I'm
really.
not
It's a
registering
dance
it.
Phil the Power Taylor is the
Okay.
best dance player.
Oh, well, I
a
feel...
film where they've got to hunt down Phil the Power Taylor.
The final fight is him running away throwing darts at them.
Yeah.
Oh, I would be as well.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't even run away. They'd have to, like... He would be, like, at the end of, like, a corridor.
Yeah.
Throwing darts at them, and they had to dodge their way to him. Yeah. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he works for the police department that have a no power policy. So he takes power and he catches a guy successfully, but they see that he has used power. So he's like, oh, you're off the force, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And he's like, but I want to stop the corruption or something.
Yeah.
And then his chief is like, okay, you gotta find Jamie Foxx. We're trying to hunt down Jamie Foxx.
Kill a black man, please.
Well, he doesn't say that, but he says like if you bring him in, then
So
maybe
kill a Batman, please.
Yeah.
maybe you can have your badge back. So they meet up later in the film. They end up teaming up because Jamie Foxx is like, in 30 seconds, your captain's going to text you back and say, don't take him to the police station because this place has been compromised. That's exactly what happens.
Right.
So Joseph Gordon-Levitt is immediately like, okay, fuck the police. I'm going to just help you find your daughter then.
Right.
So they do. Yeah, it's not very good. There's a little bit. This is the thing. I was under the impression that I'd seen an interview, not necessarily from any of the main actors, but I'd seen an interview regarding Project Power, saying that this was like, it's an important film for black people. It's the next.
Yeah.
But people who are progressive need to see this and support this film. And I don't know if that's the case. And if it's not the case, then obviously ignore what I'm about to say. But if that is the case, if this is the next in line for like, progressives must support and bolster this film, God, people are easily impressed, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well,
or easily placated.
Yeah. It's got the ingredients to be that sort of thing. Power as a metaphor.
Yeah.
Police, New Orleans, black people. It's got that.
That's all of like the villains are white.
Right.
Apart from Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who rejects the police, that's his hero making
That's his
turn.
arc.
There's a scene where Jamie Foxx says to Dominique Fishback, "You're a black woman. The system is designed to spit you out.
Sure.
Rapping is your power. You use your power, Dominique Fishback." So as soon as she said she was a rapper, I was like, right, the film's going to end with a rap song by her.
Yep.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
The character or the end credits.
Well, it's the end credits, but it is the character.
It's the character.
But I assume Dominique Fishback is also a rapper.
I would have.
It was probably like similar to what they did in. You should know these things, Sam. Something Hotel. Dean. I don't know any of the names.
Well, what is it? Like, explain to me what it is.
The hotel movie, the motel movie.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
No. With Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
and,
Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yeah.
And they got
What's her name?
she was up for an Oscar.
She was. But she sang at the end of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was in Widows as well, wasn't
Yes.
she? That's gonna bug me.
Help, Eddie, help.
I don't know.
The black female lead from Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yeah. She played Harriet Tubman
Oh, did she?
in Harriet.
Okay.
That's what she was up for.
Okay.
Oh, Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing to her, I think, where I think she's probably a singer
First.
first.
Yeah.
So this girl was probably a rapper first.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, we'll have her rapping the end credits.
It doesn't say-
Dominique Fishback. What's with this aquatic theme with all these...
What did you say, Eddie?
It doesn't say she's got a background in rapping.
What? Cynthia Erivo or Dominique Fishback?
Dominique Fishback.
Does it have much on her? I imagine she's pretty new.
No.
Incredibly cancelable, controversial statement I'm about to make.
Okay.
Can't all black people rap, really? Like, I'm not saying... I'm not saying... Obviously, some... But you know what I mean? Like, they have that ability.
Honestly,
Whenever I've seen...
I reckon not legitimate, like, it's not just all that. But I do wonder, because there are more black rappers than white, whether there is something genetically.
Well, yeah, it sounds terrible, but it's a rhythm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Better dancers as well.
I don't know. Is that sort of like saying all white people can... Give me white people music. What's some white people music?
No, it's not the same, is it? Because...
What's white people music, Eddie? You're a white people.
Country.
Acoustic folk country, yeah.
Acoustic folk.
Yeah.
Is that like saying all white people can sing acoustic folk?
No.
In fairness, anyone can sing acoustic folk because it's barely singing. But
no, they can't because no, it's a different skill set, isn't it? So rapping, it's talking rhythmically.
Yes.
But a big part of rapping is that you got that accent, so you can do that kind of, you know what I mean?
Well, they don't all have that accent though, do they?
African Americans. Okay, African Americans.
Yeah, but they're all over the place. Like you can have a Minnesotan African American.
Yeah, but
that doesn't sound like that, you know?
Yeah.
I know it's less common than having like a Brooklyn African American or a Boston African American or whatever.
No, of course, yeah. Accents do, but African Americans do share a certain commonality in their accent.
Okay.
They all kind of got that Alabama thing going on.
If you say so.
No,
Sam.
they do. Okay. They genuinely do.
Be the one person left in the world today to take responsibility.
No, there's actually a liberal point to be made here. The reason that is the case is because black people in America are descendants of slaves who were in the South, so they all come from that sort of accent.
Right. Okay.
Not all of them, obviously, but you know what I mean. Like they have that.
They all have ancestry there.
They all have ancestry, and like singing is a different skill than rapping.
Okay.
There are plenty of actors who can't sing.
Yes.
But whenever I've heard a black actor portray a rap, do that, I can't tell the difference between a good, quote unquote,
well, I
and a bad
mean,
rapper.
in Project Power, the way that she proves that she's a good rapper is she freestyles.
Right.
So I'm assuming is the differentiating, like that's what separates the mediocre rappers from the good rappers.
That's freestyling. That's like big dick energy kind of thing. If you can freestyle,
like the wit and the speed of that. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all black people can freestyle.
Yeah. No, but like, you're saying that like with singing, like if you can't hit the notes, you can't sing.
Yeah.
It was like with rap. Most people could probably rap, but if you can't freestyle, then you're not.
Yeah.
Then
That's what stops you becoming like a proper rapper.
And it's just easier as well, because again, rapping is talking with style.
Yes.
And if you've got an accent that lends itself to that, you have a leg up. Whereas what accent for singing is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't think that was a racist point to make.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
Watch it be anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, Project Power.
Not good?
No. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was alright in it.
Was he?
Yeah, I kind of liked him. It wasn't great. It wasn't like a, star turn performance or anything.
No.
But he was playing this like confident, cocksure detective. There's like a scene where he goes to Dominic Fishback's house because Dominic Fishback has a mother who's ill, but it's one of those like vague illnesses where she needs pills that are in like an orange bottle.
Yeah.
Right.
But she doesn't seem to be displaying any of the symptoms other than she's a bit tired.
Yeah.
So the people who are hunting Jamie Foxx are aware that Dominic Fishback is now involved. So they go to the mother's house to sort of take the mother away, presumably to like kidnap the mother, to use her as ransom, or maybe even just murder her. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt goes into the house, aware of what's happening, and pretends like he's just come out of the shower.
Right.
And he's, like reading them the riot act, basically. But like the black mother has no idea who this guy is, so he's got to try and pull it off, basically. And that's kind of like a fun scene.
Okay.
It's like, oh wait, where you guys coming from? Sorry, honey, I had to use your shower. And he like goes to kiss her, and he's like, I'm a friend of your daughter's. Just go with it. He's like, you want to show me a warrant?
Do you want to do a black voice just so all three of us have done one?
I'm good. I'm
Hey, that
good.
was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I know, but that sounded like you were doing a black voice.
I wasn't,
No,
genuinely.
Well,
I'm doing whatever Joseph Gordon-Levitt was
does
doing.
he have a New Orleans accent in it?
I think he's trying, yeah.
So he's doing a southern accent.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Go on, do it.
Nope.
Just say all shucks.
Racist. Come on, be racist, Eddie.
No.
It's my birthday.
And I'm not.
You haven't given me a gift. Let this be your gift to me.
I'm not being racist.
Just do a voice then. Just
No.
say. Just
I'm not doing it.
Just do a voice, any voice.
Just say all shucks.
Oh shucks.
Thank you.
Right. Is that everything?
I think so.
I think that's everything. Don't watch Project Power. I don't even know why I brought it up other than just something to talk about, you know?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.